Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the B Leaguers podcast. My name is Stokes. That's Flynn. We're back from fucking Rainbow Six Invitational 2019. It was a fucking blast. Flynn, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. I caught the land flu, so I ain't doing so hot, but I've medicated the fuck out of myself, and I've loaded myself up with caffeine because it's 2 o'clock in the fucking morning when we're doing this, like it is always.
Yeah, basically. Self-medication is always a good thing. I'm glad you're making it through. That's all right.
Oh fuck yeah, bud.
Yeah. So I know other people got it way worse right now. So I showed up to invite a little sick. It was just a cold. I didn't have any throwing up or anything like that. I was okay. But a couple of those days of casting, I was literally like dying. Like that day I asked you to
Yeah.
come give me napkins.
Yep.
My face was leaking mid cast. I was like, no, God, please no.
I was fucking
Oh, man.
hauling ass too.
Yeah, my face. When I mean my face was leaking, guys, my face was fucking leaking. Like my nose would just not stop. And it's like, oh no, this can't be happening right now. But we got it all figured out. It was okay. But guys, welcome back. I'm happy to be
Hey.
back. Flynn's happy to be back. We had a really good trip. We were gone for 9 days, 10 days, 9 days overall.
10.
Was it 10? I thought it was 9.
I think it's
Let me whip
10.
out the handy dandy calculator real quick.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 10.
Oh, all right. Anyways,
It's fun. It was a long time. It was a very long time. It was a very fun time, although it was extremely motherfucking cold in Montreal, especially when we got there for
Ooh.
like the first couple of days of groups. That was
Yeah.
that was brutal. It actually warmed up a little bit by the time playoffs rolled around and everyone like flew in. Because it was like, I don't think it got worse than -15 throughout all of playoffs the entire weekend. But for groups, there were a couple days where it hit like -25 and a wind chill of like -35. So it was it was a good time. Don't get me wrong, but holy fuck, was it a it was cold as shit. But that's Montreal in February for you. That's Canada in February, honestly. Basically everywhere, even Vancouver was getting snow.
Yeah. It was so fucking cold. At one point, guys, I woke up and this is it's probably Sunday morning. I want to say it was Sunday morning. It was -37 degrees Celsius outside. And if you
Yep.
don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, it's
Basically the same.
-34 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's just ridiculously cold. And it was windy as hell. So it was actually like -45 degrees Fahrenheit. So because you can always safely add like 10 degrees to with wind chill, always, especially when it's like a good like 10-mile-an-hour wind, just enough to make you want to die. It's
Yeah.
great. It was so cold for those of the people like live in California and parts of the world that are warm. It was so cold that you didn't want to breathe. Like it actually hurts
Yeah.
your nose to breathe. That's how cold it was.
Yeah, that's Canadian winters, and everyone's coming up to me and shit like, "How do you live in this?" It's like you suffer for 4 or 5 months a year.
You stay inside and you cry.
Exactly. People ask why I don't go outside and do things. I don't want to commit 30 minutes to digging my car out of the driveway, and I don't want to be outside in -30. I don't want to put on 6 sweaters and a coat and be outside and be cold. Like, I'd rather stay inside and make someone else come and deliver my shit. So I order everything to the house in the winter.
I mean, yeah. Uber Eats. God bless.
Uber Eats and Instacart. Instacart's like an online like grocery store shopping delivery service here as well, and it's a fucking godsend. Oh
I
my
was gonna say
god.
must be fucking nice.
It's expensive as shit, like don't get me wrong, but oh, it's so worth it. Like I'd rather pay an extra like $25-30 on groceries and then a delivery fee like another $10. So it's like an extra $45 on top of your like normal grocery bill, but like dude, I'd pay that every couple weeks just to not go outside.
hmm I can full on agree with that. Like especially living back in Iowa and just that snow and everything else, and it's like -10 degrees outside. You're like, I really don't want to fucking leave. I don't want to have to drive with this shit because I know some dickhead's gonna try and like crash his car into me and everything else. It's not fun. Not fun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we left for Montreal and we announced that we were both going to be casting SI, we did some predictions. And I'd like to go back and compare how we did on our predictions. So I've got my predictions up on the left-hand side of my monitor, which you can't see, obviously, because it's a fucking podcast. and I got Stokes on the right side, and we're gonna compare.
TLDR, we were really fucking wrong.
We were really wrong in a lot of different places, like a lot of different places.
lot of different places.
So I.
God damn it, Rec.
Yeah, really. That kind of came out of nowhere. I had no faith, and they kind of really proved me wrong. They proved a lot of people wrong, honestly. So I guess I'm gonna start with yours.
You got to pick me apart first? Fuck you.
Yeah. So at a Group A, we both actually picked FaZe and NIP, both teams in Group A that went home in groups. So we went 0 for 4 on groups, at least in Group A.
Yup.
Group B, you said Empire Immortals, and I said Empire. Who else was in Group B? Am I stupid? I said SSG, so Empire and SSG. So I was right on both. So I got Group B 2 for 2. You got Group B 1 for 2. Group C, you said Liquid 1 in G2, the number 2 seed. So reverse that, and you're right. And I said the same thing. I said Liquid the 1 seed and G2 the 2 seed. So again, we kind of get like half points because we picked the right teams. But
little did we know Liquid would literally not be Liquid. So that was fun.
That was unfortunate.
And then we'll get to that.
Group D, and this is where you really fucked up. You said EG and Penta. You said Penta to the finals. I said EG Nora. So out of groups, I went 6 for 8, but Group C, the seeding was reversed. In groups, you went 5 for 8. The same thing with Group C, the seeding reversed. So we weren't actually that far off from each other as far as groups are concerned, but we did fuck up a few things here or there. And with that, when we fucked up the seeding in Group C, it fucked up the entire bracket as for the way it went down. We had the format of the bracket correct. So we assumed right it would be the same as last year, which it was, A1 versus D2 and so on. But the bracket was quite different. So for your side of things, you said FaZe against Penta. Neither of them made it out of groups. You said Penta would win that and go up against G2, and G2 and Empire would face off in the quarters. Well, you said G2 would beat Empire in quarters, so you're right there. You just got the spot wrong that would happen. You said Liquid would beat Immortals in the third quarterfinal, which was not only wrong about the team that would win, but you were wrong about the team that they would play. And then you said EG would beat NiP in the fourth quarterfinal, which again, you were wrong about the team that would win, and you were wrong about the teams that would be there. In the semis, you said Penta G2 and Penta would win. That was wholly wrong. And Liquid against EG, you got both of them wrong about being there, and it doesn't really matter who you pick to win because they're both wrong, and your finals are completely fucking wrong, but it's okay because so are mine. You said EG Penta with an EG 3-1 win in the finals. That was so fucking wrong, but so was mine. So I had, in the quarters, FaZe against Norengo, and I had FaZe winning. So again, I had one of the teams in the right spot, but the wrong team winning. I had the same thing as you with G2 beating Empire in the quarters, so I got the right score line, or the right victor in a game that would happen, but in the wrong spot. I said Liquid against SSG, and SSG would win. Well, SSG didn't make it past G2 in groups, so I got the team that would win wrong, and the team they would face wrong. And then I said EG would face NiP and win the same as you, which was also completely fucking wrong. So for the quarterfinals, we both went 1 for 4. It was G2. Our only team we got right out of all 4 semifinalists. We went 1 for 4, and we got the winner completely wrong, and the finals completely wrong on both sides. Well, so that shows you how stupid we are.
In our defense, Brazil didn't do what Brazil was supposed to do.
Yeah, really.
At all.
LATAM just forgot to show up.
Out of all of those teams, I was like, Liquid's probably going to be like lowest on the rung right now, especially after that first game. I was like, I'm just not really feeling them. Like, they're just not playing up to snuff right now. And, well, fuck, dude.
Fuck. Fuck is right.
There was so many things. Okay, hold on. Let's just get up the bracket. Let's go to Liquipedia.
That's what I'm doing right now, yeah. So to recap for everyone that I don't know how the fuck you're listening to this and you missed SI, but let's say you did, a refresher, even though we just went over the whole who was right and who was wrong thing. Group A, Fnatic went 2-0 and took Group A. Reciprocity went 2-1 and took the second spot in Group A. Empire and Space Station make it out respectively as the 1 and 2 seeds in B. G2 Liquid 1-2 in C, and EG Nora in Group D. That then put a quarterfinals of Fnatic against Nora, and then Empire against Liquid, G2 against Space Station, and Reciprocity against Evil Geniuses. You had 2 instances of region against their own region in the quarterfinals, APAC and NA facing each other. And then you had LATAM against EU for Liquid Empire, and NA versus EU for G2 SSG. I want to go all the way back to groups though, because there were a lot of no-shows in groups, like surprisingly terrible no-shows, and the 2 that really stand out to me were Rogue and Lestream.
Thank you.
What in the actual living fuck were those performances from both of them?
No, definitely a dead fuck for Rogue. Dead fuck. Dead in a hole. Dead in a ditch. Fuck.
Like Lestream was even worse.
Like beat with a shovel, not even a body bag, just like bought some fucking Glade trash bags from Walmart, put that motherfucker in there.
Mantis put up a better fight against G2, the ultimate winners and back-to-back world champions. The Mantis 3 consecutive major champions.
Almost took a map off G2, and Empire got 3-0'd.
Like, dude.
Oh my god.
It was bad, man. That first SSG Rogue game wasn't even close, man. Wasn't even close in the second half.
Terrible. Yeah, they literally just put Rogue in a body bag, like just to put a description on it. But let's start with Group A. Sure. So the opening matches for that were FaZe versus NiP. I believe that was casted by Parker and Kix, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
You definitely didn't cast it.
No, so I casted Fnatic Rec. Yeah, it was a 2-0. There's no way I could have casted it.
Yeah. Anyways, if you guys don't know what that joke is, basically throughout the entire weekend, every match that Flynn got was all 3 maps. Every single chance he got to cast was
I got 1-2-0 out of the whole 2-1. I got 1-2-0 out of the whole fucking week, and I don't even remember what it was. Hold on, what was it? It was Pentala Stream at the end of the day with Gassan. That's what it was.
All right, so FaZe versus NiP. NiP just didn't show up. NiP was terrible this entire tournament, like the entire time. It was just not good. NiP ended up the groups 0-2, and just they had an immediate out. So basically, FaZe beats NiP, sends NiP to the lower bracket. Fnatic beats Rec 2-1, and Fnatic looked very good. Very, very good. I actually had a conversation with Flynn after, I believe it was their second win, when they ended up beating FaZe in the winners match. I was like, okay, Fnatic might go really far into the bracket once they get there, because if things pan out correctly, they could definitely get a team that they are going to stand up against very, very well. And he agreed with me, but we'll get to that ship, when we get there. So, anyways, Fnatic over Rec 2-1, and then winners match. Fnatic beats FaZe, sends FaZe to the lower bracket, but the elimination match, Rec beats NiP 2-1, so that eliminates NiP, and then FaZe loses to Rec 2-1, and Rec goes into the bracket. So for Group B, we have the opening matches, which is Rogue versus SSG. SSG wins 2-0 against Rogue, like we just talked about, an absolute trouncing. Empire versus Immortals, which is a game that I casted with Blue. That was our first game that we casted. Empire wins that 2-0. And then for the winners match, Empire beats SSG 2-0, sends them to the lower bracket. Immortals beat Rogue 2-1. That was the only game where Rogue actually didn't look.
That was a fucking shit show.
Complete trash.
No. Me and Michael were casting that game. That game, Immortals Rogue in the elimination match of the 0-1s on day 2. That game was a battle of who could throw the least. That was by far and away the worst game I have ever casted between 2 Pro League teams.
Oh my god.
Like I'm not fucking around. That was like me and Michael were both just absolutely eviscerating them both on each side, equal opportunities to pick them both apart in the cast because they were that bad. Like we were stunned at how fucking terrible the game was.
I think you told me at one point. You're like, usually Parker stops Kix from trying to completely eviscerate a team, but instead of stopping him, I influenced it.
Oh yeah, I jumped in, dude. I was like, "Fuck yes, Kix, let's get them. Let's fucking sink our teeth in," because it was just awful. It was just an awful, awful series that was dragged on for so long.
Did you watch me cast Liquid versus Mocket?
Yes, because I had the first Liquid Market, so yeah,
match?
I watched that game in the lobby.
So you was it? I know it wasn't nearly as bad. Well, it was worse than what I was picking them apart about. But was it on that same thing where you're just like, why the fuck do you keep making the same mistake over and over again?
Yeah,
why are you even calling timeouts? Because you don't even fucking do anything with them.
Yeah, it was the same thing as that game, just on like an nth degree worse, where it was just like
scale.
Yeah, it just things kept like it was the same thing over and over and over. They just kept like both teams were just driving their heads into a brick wall, not making any progress, and me and Kix were just sitting there like I can't count how many times Kix looked over at me and just like was in complete shock and awe at like how terrible something broke down. Like it'd be like a 2v5, like Rogue has it 5v2 on attack, Plant is down, and there's like 3 guys on Rogue all lining up on one another just waiting to get triple headshot collateraled. And it's like what's going through your minds right now? Like you guys know not how to play a post Plant 5v2. Like, this is the easiest thing in the like. It would go from a 5v2 to a 1v2 in about 6 seconds, and we just sit there and go, "What? How are you fucking this up that bad?" And then you turn around and Immortals do the exact same thing the next fucking round. Oh, it was just like it was the most drawn out game that did not need to be drawn out of all time.
Yeah,
I was a little upset. We were both a little upset, as you can tell.
I didn't get to watch it because I was off doing things.
It's a waste. Yeah. It's a waste of a game to watch, and it's like 3.5 hours long. So don't even bother. I'm not shitting you. Look at the round count on it. It's 8-7 first map, 7-3 second map, 8-6. Bank was the only one that was mercifully short, and it was still 10 rounds. Like. Oh, that match was a fucking shit show. Because I think, what's the math on that? 15, 14, 29, so 39 out of a possible 45 rounds. And the game I did right before that to round out the day was 38 of 45 possible rounds.
Get fucked, Flynn.
Honestly.
Get fucked.
Honestly.
Anyways, so Immortals Rogue, shit show, don't watch it. Then decider match between SSG and Immortals. SSG wins 2-1. It was Border Bank and Villa. I think so.
So this would have been on. This would have been on Wednesday.
It was a blur. So
yeah.
Wednesday.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did the middle two.
Yes, I did because I was talking about Boss Goat a lot.
Yeah, you did the middle two on Wednesday. Me and Devin did the 4th game, the Nora Penta rematch, and Parker and Michael kicked off the day and then went home and slept. Lucky fucking bastards.
Yeah. I casted that, and I casted the winner match between Fnatic and FaZe.
Yeah.
Because that's where I had that interrogation clip.
Yep.
Yeah. Where I was literally talking so fast I couldn't even register it the first time that I went back and watched myself talking. I was like, holy fucking shit. And then if you guys go watch that clip, there's one point where like after I go through the whole interrogation thing, and I'm like, this is really going to have a massive effect on the defense. And then I just stop all of a sudden. I literally couldn't breathe. So I had to stop and actually take a breath so I could talk again because I was completely out of air. Like I was not regulating my lung use. I just like dumpstered all of it because everything was getting way too crazy. So, but yeah, great clip. But SSG versus Immortals. SSG goes, Immortals stays, goes home. So for Group B, that was Team Empire Seed 1, Space Station at Seed 2, Immortals and Rogue go home. And we're on to Group C. which opening match was G2 versus Mantis. That was casted by Kix and Parker, and actually had a pretty crazy clip where someone jumped off the catwalk inside of Garage on Clubhouse and just completely faded somebody inside of sight. It was insane. I think it was Kanto, actually. Kanto. It was Kanto. Yeah, it was Kanto.
Was it Kanto?
Alibi. It was Kanto's alibi.
It was,
he jumped
too.
off catwalk and literally just faded this man through a wall.
Yeah,
it was
I saw
insane. So good. So good. And then it was Mock at Liquid the first time, and that's when we soon realized that was going to be a shit show. And it completely was.
That was me. Smile.
And then it was G2 versus Mocket. Big surprise. G2 fucking 2-0s Mocket. Literally, all I saw from Mocket during that game was Mocket pretending to be snails and crawling on the ground. That was what I saw. That was it.
Yeah,
Like, they were crawling on the ground everywhere. It was a 7-3-7-3, by the way, on Villa and Coastline. And literally, Mocket was using the most amount of prone angles I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Because I guess they just didn't want Kanto to rip their fucking head off. So, anyways, goes to elimination match. This is when I knew. This is right here is when I knew Liquid was not going to go fucking anywhere. Liquid wins 2-1 to Mantis. I was like, okay, this is not going to be good. And I already kind of knew before because they got 2-1 by Mocket. And I was like, Mocket is shit right now. So, what the fuck? And then we go to the decider match, in which I casted, which is probably the longest match I've ever casted besides the best of 5 inside of CCS for EU finals.
That's a long
it
one
was
too.
A fucking I wanted to fucking die. So first map we had was Border. Liquid takes it 8-6. Then we have Oregon, which goes 7-5 in favor of Mocket. And then we have Villa, which goes 7-5 in favor of Liquid. And every single round went down to like the last 15 seconds. And the game ended on Sexy Cake winning a fucking stupid situation.
Yeah, the 1v3 in Master. Yeah.
Inside of Master, when someone could have just jumped out the bathroom window and shot this man through the fucking Master windows that were already open. But they all decided to funnel in through one door on either side. So there had 2 people stacked up on statuary door and the other one stacked up on the bathroom door, and he literally just gunned all of them because he had
and they all pushed him one at a time too. It was like, what?
Yep.
What are you? Why? What are you doing?
Yeah, it was that match I was just angry. I was so angry I couldn't formulate words. Like, the fact that you, as Liquid, one of the best teams in LATAM, one of the most aggressive regions in the entire world, plays like a bunch of people that just hold angles and wait until the last 20 seconds to do a fucking thing the entire time is ridiculous. Like, I cannot tell you guys how many times throughout that match I was like, I don't even know why either team is taking a timeout because they don't adjust anything. Mocket just sits still inside of sight. Liquid establishes angles and then just holds them for the entire round and then goes, oh, guys, well, we have 20 seconds left, so we should probably make a push. And then they just run at the same door and get fucking eviscerated. Like, it's just, oh, my fucking mental fortitude during that game was just gone. Like, the walls inside of my mind just melted under fucking magma and just became just puddles of just ash and bullshit. It was fucking stupid. Oh my God. And the worst part was there was multiple times during that I looked over at Blue and it was just like us staring at each other on why the fuck things were happening. Like, at one point in time, Gohan was doing his whole, I'm pissed off about everything because Gohan was being a little triggered fuck for some reason.
Anyways, yeah, really. That was
yeah. He was just
nice
Caballero play. Nice. I'm gonna sue Intero. Nice Caballero play. Nice skins. Nice. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna go back to Brazil. I'm gonna sue. Like, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up. Don't be an idiot. Come on, dude. Seriously. Like, you have that big of an anger issue that you have to try and say you're going to go back to Brazil and pursue fucking legal action? Oh my fucking, get the fuck out of here. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Oh, man. And you wonder why he got dropped by FaZe. Like, way to act like an adult.
Yeah, I think that really was the biggest talking point about Liquid was Gohan throughout the entire weekend. Just just regarding his behavior and his
Yeah.
attitude towards his own team. Not even towards other people. Towards other two people was also
He
despicable,
was
but
being a cocksucker towards his own fucking team. It
every
wasn't like he was
round.
being literally, guys, I swear to God, like this is how this man would let me take my ring off so I don't fucking break my knuckle when I do this. But he would literally be like, guys, what the fuck? And he just fucking clap the whole time and start yelling at everybody. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? What have you done? You haven't done shit. You wanna know how I know you haven't done shit? Because everyone else on that team has won something inside of Rainbow Six. You really haven't done that much compared to the Liquid roster. Really you haven't. I mean, like, yeah, sure, FaZe won their region. They won their region, but they have not won Pro League finals. They haven't done anything along those lines. Like, what? Like, it was making me so unbelievably angry. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, excuse me. I take it back. They won Pro League Season 8 Latin America. They won. Oh wait, no, that just means they were top of their of LATAM. So yeah, they won, and they won OGA Pit Season 2, which was just a LATAM thing. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem is eventually, like, in the beginning, it looked like it was working. So, like, in the first Liquid Mocket game, which was also a shit show, that I casted, it looked like he was, I don't know, like, it looked like his anger and his frustration was enough to, like, fire up the team enough to bring it close. But by the end of that 3-mapper against Mocket, which went ungodly long, as all the fucking games did in groups, it looked like by the end of it, just off of one fucking game, it looked like everyone else in the team was just sick of it. Like, absolutely fucking sick of his shit. And it was one best of 3 in. Like, I can't imagine feeling like that if you're Liquid, knowing that you've just lost your first game, your back is against the wall, you lose one more best of 3 series, and it's over. And you're just already sick of a dude on your team. Like, it looked like it threw them off so hard. And props to them for them to being able to run it back. Granted, against Mantis and Mocket, like, this group was probably the easiest to predict, and a lot of people out there, I imagine, like 95% of the people predicted it right. Probably not the way they would have imagined it. They would have imagined, like, G2 Liquid facing off in the winners match instead of G2 Mocket. But props to Liquid for being able to pull it back in the end. But, like, holy shit, it looked like they were so fucking done with Gohan's shit by the end of that.
Dude, honestly, at one point I thought Sensei was gonna, like, choke him the fuck out. Like, straight up. I thought Sensei was about to, like, karate chop
Sensei looked like he wanted to choke out a lot of people on Liquid, which also didn't look like it was helping.
Yeah, it was just fucking... It was ridiculous. Dude, there was at one point in time where Gohan was, like, yelling at Nesk, and Nesk looked at him and then just, like, looked at his monitor and was like,
"Oh, I remember there
not
was
today,
one
Satan."
time,
Like,
I remember there was one time at the end of a round. I can't remember if it was against Empire on the main stage. I think it was, because I also casted their game against Empire, which they did not look that great on. I mean, they won the first map, and it was Coastline because they ran up the score. They went 5-1 at the first half on the attacking side on Coast, as you're kind of supposed to still. But the problem is, like, there was the end of one round where it looked like Gohan, just, like, after they lost a round or something, Gohan, like, stood up, started yelling at the team, and you could see on the far end, because Zig is always on the far right, he just, like, rolled his eyes and put his face in his hands and was just like, here we go again. Here we fucking go again, man. Just shut up. Just shut up. Like, you could just see it in his body language and his facial expression. He was like, dude, if you make one more word come out of your goddamn mouth, I'm gonna walk over there and slap some sense into you. And I kind of wish he would. Because that shit's gotta be fucking draining and exhausting. And honestly, I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's a roster change coming out of Liquid after that. Because that's ridiculous, man.
I can't tell you the amount of times I went to breakfast and saw Gohan eating alone while we were there.
Yeah, really. That was,
not a
like,
single person with him.
There weren't a lot of teams that, like, so Lestream sucked ass, but I had breakfast with them on the Wednesday. They'd already been eliminated, and they were like, still cool with each other. They were like, yeah, we didn't show up, but it wasn't one person's fault. It was like a whole team just not showing up. It was me and Parker and Devin, and we were having breakfast with them, and like Aces and Alfama were just laughing and joking, and it's like, yeah, it sucks that we got fucking obliterated and that we didn't show up. But like, even in that scenario, even facing that, it was okay. And for NIP, like, it took them a couple days for them to like turn it around emotionally, but they came out to the bar later on in the week. They came out later and started like having some fun and like coming out for drinks with us and stuff. And like for Liquid, man, like they were winning games to make it to the playoffs. They made it to the final 8, and they looked like they were emotionally fucking finished. It looked like they didn't want to fucking be there anymore already, and they still had a game to play against Empire on Friday.
Yeah, it's a wild scene, man. It's a really wild scene. I don't know.
All right, let's move on. We're stuck on Liquid here, and they have their problems, and they'll sort it out. Let's move on to Group D, though.
Because I love Nesk so much, but like Nesk wasn't even playing like Nesk. That man was just literally, guys. I swear to God, this, and then we'll move on. But at one point in time on Border, Nesk ashes a wall. Okay, he's standing at the bottom of square. He ashes the wall for workshop over through the door that leads into like the I call it metal desk, but it's basically like that hallway for the metal stairs. I call it metal desk because of the desk that sits there. But basically he ashes the wall right behind that, and he stands there and he holds the angle on that breaching charge round that he just put in the wall for 2 fucking minutes and doesn't move. For 2 fucking minutes. I was like, okay. Like you're really gonna stand here the entire round. Like you got in 45 seconds from top of East stairs, rotate down the staircase, establish this angle, and you're gonna stand here and you're gonna stare at that motherfucker until someone decides to peek it. Like, what? Like, honestly, what popped in my head, I was like, I feel like I'm playing fucking gold ranked right now. Like, I just walk into this angle, this guy's been holding the entire fucking round for no reason. Like, what are you doing, buddy? Like, please, like, get something. You're playing Ashe. If you're gonna hold a fucking angle, play somebody that's meant to hold an angle. That girl is not meant to hold an angle. She's meant to get up in that bitch. Like, oh man, I was so sad, dude, because I love Liquid so much, but fuck. Anyways, so there's that. Then we go to Group D, which was EG, Norengo, Penta, Lestream, and that's it for Group D. So opening matches, we had EG won a 2-0 against Lestream, which, as you guys heard Flynn say, Lestream literally did not show up at all. So
yeah, they got obliterated in both games.
Then we had the game that Flynn and I got to cast, both unbelievably tired. Yay! Norengo versus Penta.
Another one
I literally couldn't pronounce anybody's name. Lamau.
Yeah, you got shredded pretty hard on that one.
That's fine. It's all good.
It was unfortunate. But, I mean, at least you corrected it for the second time you had to cast them. So
yeah, it'd be really great if I had feelings. Lamau. Yeah. Anyways.
Wait, did you cast Nora the second time?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, EG Nora, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I casted, I didn't cast EG Nora. I casted Nora Penta. I casted
no, you didn't. Match. No, you didn't. That was me and Devin.
Oh, then yeah.
You did do EG Nora with John. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah. That was unfortunate. Although that was a fucking dude, that was a good game. Nora Penta the first time. Honestly, both times Nora Penta were really good games.
Yeah. If you guys want to just see some absolutely wild plays, go back and watch both of those.
Mm-hmm.
They're wild.
Dude, any of the Nora games.
There's a specific clip. Actually, there's 2 clips inside of the first one that is literally just Flynn and I losing our minds. It's Waka's run out because I'm literally talking. Well, we're just talking and we're on Buck. We're on the Buck that's running up to the border from what even is that spawn called? I never spawned there. Is it called parking lot? Is that what it's called?
West vehicle spawn.
West vehicle spawn.
Or West vehicle entrance.
Yeah. Anyways, so he's spawning over in that parking lot area, whatever. Spawning over there, and he's running up towards the building. And Flynn and I were just talking about the previous round, and this man Waka runs outside with Valkyrie and a hollow sight on the MPX and domes this man first fucking shot off the top of a car. And Flynn and I are talking, and I go,
Hello?
What the fuck? I go, hello? And I was like, who is this man? And he runs outside while we're talking about how nuts Waka is, and he does it again to somebody else that's running from Valley Spawn past the tank and fucking murders this man. And like, it's just Flynn and I like freaking out. Like, what the fuck just happened? Like, it's like, anyways, gets on down the line, and it's Hungry. And by the way, on Border, Noah Rango learned why you ban Ying against Hungry, because this man had a 6-second ace, one of the fastest aces in all of a sanctioned pro play match ever. A 6-second ace. Well, this man literally ran into mini office and just made this shit a butcher shop. Like, it was fucking ridiculous. Like, this man had to send flowers home to all of those fucking people's families. Like 100%. 100%. It was murder. That's what it was.
Yeah, there was that was also a round they should not have won, considering it was 3v5 off of Waka's immediate spawn peaks, and just, I don't know, Hungry
was
felt
it the
like
same round?
Same round, yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
It was the same that one round. You watch that like not even, well, yeah, it was about a 3-minute round because Hungry didn't go until there was about 30 seconds left. But because they just stalled out outside of Armory Wall for a while. But it was a 3v5 when he walked in, I think. I don't think they even cleared out Waka in CC. I think he tried to rotate back through Hall. I think Waka was the last kill, because Hungry pushes in. He immediately like downs the Jaeger metal half wall on the right side of lockers, flips to bunker or half wall, like the stone half wall looking at Armory Wall. Takes down 1, goes to lockers, takes down 2, cleans his down on 3, which is the Jaeger he downed off rip. Reloads, quick peeks, 1 taps the dude, archives door, and then looks at break room door and taps again and gets all 5. And I think Waka was in CC the whole fucking time, never got cleared out, and Hungry just did not give a shit. No one on Penta gave a shit. They just like, yo, we're sending it, let's go.
It was fucking wild. It was so wild that the kill that he had on the man in archives, I actually didn't think he got it.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you debated that with me. You were like, that wasn't 5. I'm like, dude, that was 5.
No, because like I basically there was a quarter of this man's head that peeked the door and it was just fucking gone. So I thought the guy behind him had shot and killed that guy on a better angle. But nope, it was just Hungry fucking melting this man's face off of a fucking door frame. And then he kills Waka too, top of metal, which was, oh man. And then it was literally us both like screaming Hungry's name, which was fucking wild. And then we went into the whole spiel on, how they learned the lesson of why you ban Ying against Hungry. So.
Well, moving on from that one, EG Nora put up a good fight. Map 1 on, what was it, Consulate?
Yes, Consulate.
Yes, Consulate. They just got off to a poor start and couldn't really like claw their way back. EG kind of took off to a quick lead. And then the second map, Oregon, went 7-5, and it was a good fight. It was a good back and forth game between Nora and EG, and I mean,
yeah, and the last round of that Oregon map was actually really, really close to. A lot of these rounds came down to 2v2s or 3v3s.
Yep.
Like there wasn't like, perfect round and then perfect round and then perfect round and so on back and forth. It was a lot of, very scrappy gameplay, which is exactly what we like to see. We don't like, they just 5v1. Like, it's boring.
Speaking of flawless rounds, I know I'm jumping ahead very far into the timeline here, but I was surprised that Parker and Michael didn't bring it up on the broadcast at all while they were casting the grand finals. But G2 against Empire. G2 had 5 flawless rounds in which not a single member of their team took a single hit point of damage against Empire on the first 2 maps. Me and Devin were counting in the green room, and then I went and watched the finals, the last map of the finals in the stands. But we were in the green room watching, and we were just like in complete and total awe. I don't know why I decided to bring that up right now, but you mentioned flawless rounds, and that shit was just like, holy, why did we ever doubt G2? Like, why the fuck did we even,
I don't know.
Why did we even bother thinking that this wasn't going to be
literally
G2 saving?
Until until further notice, anytime anybody asks me about a tournament that G2's in,
G2.
who's gonna win it, I'm just gonna go G2. Like it's like the fucking it's like the 96-97 Bulls, dude. It's like, hey, who's gonna win this day? It's the Bulls. It's the Bulls.
Any hockey fans out there, it's like the fucking 80 to 84 Oilers or the 84 to 89 Islanders. It's like, nah, dude. Nah. It's not even close. It's not even a contest. Good fucking luck.
Or like the fucking last decade. It's like, it's the Blackhawks, or that's the Kings.
Yeah, they went back and forth for a little bit there, but like right now it's kind of the Penguins, but like not even really. So
fuck Pittsburgh.
At least we can all
agree
sorry on that.
Yeah, if you guys are from Pittsburgh, like I love you for listening, but fuck your sports teams, like all of them.
All of them.
I hope all of those stadiums collapse. Like I hate Pittsburgh. I hate New York. I hate Pittsburgh. I hate the fucking New England. I hate Boston.
Yep. All Boston sports can burn in a hole. All Boston sports.
All of them.
Did you see after so they were heading in?
Bruins can suck my dick. Yeah. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Did you see heading into the Super Bowl? There was like a poster made, and it was like 93 days since last Boston Sports World Championship because the Red Sox won the World Series, and you're just like, are you fucking me right now? Are you actually gonna do this, you cocky motherfucker? Like, fuck Boston sports. Well, again, we're getting away. We're getting away from our topics.
Well, that's kind of the name of our podcast, anyway. So.
Yeah, so that's groups. The second Nora Pensa game also close, but Nora comes out on top, and that leaves us with, for the first time, as I mentioned on the call, the first time ever we had 2 APAC representatives in the quarterfinals of a major, or really any tournament in Siege history. That wasn't APAC only. Any interregional tournament.
Yeah, it was just a whole lot of APAC gang shit, dude. 100%.
And the most sad thing about it is that they had to fucking play each other in the first game.
Yup. That was inconvenient.
It was. And, of course, it was the only 2-0 of the fucking day.
Yeah. And what's hilarious is Fnatic is like, yeah, dude, we're literally their Twitter put out a post and was like, oh, you thought we were just here to surprise? No, we're here to win it all. And then you lose to the team that you beat every time that you go to APAC LAN to win.
That's not true. They trade back and forth. Like the last time around, Nora beat them to go to Rio. Like, well, the seeding anyway to go to Rio.
Well, get fucked.
They've traded back and forth. Like, Nora stepped their shit. And I mean, obviously, they went to the fucking semifinals. They were a map away from going to the grand finals of the Invitational this year. Like, they've clearly stepped their shit up. So yeah, the Fnatic Nora game, I was watching that. It started out okay for Fnatic, and then the wheels fell the fuck off on map 2, man. I don't know. I think Nora were just watching the Fnatic game that they played against Rec on Villa, and we're like, yo, let's take them to Villa and pick them apart. That was unfortunate for Fnatic because they're having such a strong run, and I'd be very, very remiss to not mention Virtue, because Virtue, I think, still, I think even throughout all of the grand final, like every single game, I think Virtue, while it's a smaller sample size than like G2 or Empire, I believe he still had above a 2.0 KD in all of the games
Virtue
played.
is literally fucking insane.
I think he was the only person in the entire tournament to be above 2.0 in a KD.
There's a reason they benched Neofighter. 100%. 100% reason they benched Neofighter.
Yeah, Virtue's, or I was going to say, Neofighter's not coming back. He might show up on a different team. No. And I mean, this is kind of what you need if you're APAC, if you're a struggling region like this, or an underdeveloped region, I should say, not struggling. Because clearly, I mean, they made it as far as both NA and EU, and they surpassed Latin America as far as distance made in the Invitational, and number of representatives in the quarterfinals of the Invitational. They're not struggling, but they are underdeveloped as far as depth. But this is kind of what you need. You need new players to come up, and yes, there will still be the Superstars teams on top. Take a look at EU, for God's sake. Take a look at NA. Superstars teams are still on top, and they grab talent all the time, like EG picking up fucking Geo, G2 just having ENCE as a fucking farm team, and just taking every single good Finnish player that ever comes to ENCE. It happens. But what happens is the players who get dropped are still very good, and they get to go to other teams, and that helps the other teams grow and get better and better and better. So the region will develop through trickling down as far as the talent, but holy shit, Virtue was on another level this tournament. And I was casting the very first game of the day on the B stream, which was Fnatic Rec, and Virtue had a very shit start. Virtue, I don't think had a kill through 6 rounds in the first half against Rec on the first map, and he fucking went off for the rest of the tournament. So he went 6 rounds on a map without getting a kill, and then he still finished with the highest KD in the entire tournament. Again, granted, smaller sample size than someone like Kanto or Pengu or Scyther or Joystick or Waka.
I think Scyther is the one to point out, really, because
Scyther's another one.
Insane.
Yeah, if you want to move on to like Empire Liquid, the game I casted, that was, again, another showing of Liquid just kind of losing their composure, but Empire, again, showing up as a full team performance.
Yeah, I mean, really, the downside for me, for Empire, at least, you know, player-wise, I think Karzeka was literally the worst player on that team throughout this entire tournament, 100%.
He had a bad couple games here and there, but he had some bounce-back moments. I think the problem
he had some bounce-back moments, but, like, he definitely was the most inconsistent of the entire team, 100%.
I think the problem was the teams were starting to clue in that you can't just attack Joystick directly. Empire are so fucking rigid, and they do not adapt at all. They do the same thing over and over and over again. It's like they're a year 1 team in year 4 right now, and it's fucking
Russian
weird.
machine never break.
Yeah, really. But I think teams are starting to clue in that Karzeka is Joystick's cover. He's his flank watch, he's his duo, they go everywhere, and he's also the guy who feeds info to Joystick because the rest of the team is doing shit now. Back in the day, Empire used to be the team that all 4 members of Empire would just feed Joystick info and he would be the driving force behind the team. He was having a bad day.
Room Factory. That was literally Room
No,
Factory.
that was Empire not 5 months ago at the Euro Cup in Milan. Same thing for DreamHack Winner, honestly. I
went back and watched Room Factory's games. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was legitimately the exact same shit.
Yeah, and they continued that all the way through like the Euro Cup and Challenger League, and honestly, the first, not even the first couple of games. I think as soon as Pro League started for Season 9, that's when the change happened. But I think teams are starting to clue in that now that the whole team has other responsibilities and other duties and they are performing them well, now Joystick doesn't have as much support on his stupid fragging ability, and Karzeka is the linchpin in that. So I think teams were really attacking Karzeka and watching VOD on him, watching his pathing, watching his droning, watching his routing. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I believe he had a lot of opening deaths, and I'm pretty convinced watching all their games and casting a majority of their games, especially both their playoff games, that teams were really reading into that and going, hey, as long as we can isolate and shut down Karzeka instead of Joystick, then Joystick is kind of caught on an island, because the other 3 will go do their own thing on the other side of the map or on a separate push. It's always Karzeka and Joystick pushing individually. And to be honest, we can't win 1v1 against Joystick or 2v2 against Joystick and Karzeka. We have to isolate Karzeka, murder him mercilessly, and then hunt down Joystick and do it step by step. And because Team Empire are so fucking rigid and so resistant to change, it was easy to kind of map things out the more VODs that accumulated over the course of the tournament. That was my kind of thing with Karzeka. I don't think he was bad. I think the team really needs to learn how to fucking adapt and get Joystick some info from other areas like they used to without compromising the full team force that they are right now.
Yeah, again, we've had a lot of talk about fluidity recently just due to the fact of reciprocity and how that roster's really been faring, which, you know, they had a good showing this week, but I don't know. There's a lot of rumors going around right now, as you guys know, about, you know, roster moves and everything else for everybody. So we could see that affect reciprocity. We could not. We really don't know what's going to happen. But I know that you guys will know within this week, more than likely. Because
more than likely. I mean, roster lock doesn't close until the 9th, I believe, which is 2 days, I believe, before the season starts back up. So there's still a lot of time left in the calendar.
Plenty of time, but a lot of like most of the people are gonna know anyways by then, because you know, rumor on top of rumor on top of rumor, and so on and so forth. Always builds up, and that's just how, you know, things go inside of the scene. So
yeah, I'm also gonna say we are both very aware of this, and everyone knows that we're aware of what's going to happen because of the clip from my stream that got put on the Pro League subreddit. So I'm not going to beat around the bush and say, "Oh, we don't know what's going." We fucking know.
No, yeah, we know what's.
We
gonna
know.
happen.
We're just not going to say anything until it goes public.
We're not going to tell you because multiple things. Number one, we like knowing shit.
True.
and number two, fuck you. You get to wait.
You get to wait.
just cast forehead.
Exactly.
Dude, I got one of that kid that came up to me that was telling us about the B Leaguers podcast. By the way, shout out to you. I cannot remember your name. Do you remember his name, Flynn? Noah, buddy. Shout out to you for coming up to Flynn and I and talking about the podcast. We really appreciate it. You're a fucking god amongst men. We fucking love you, dude. But shout out to him. But the main thing that God, I lost my train of thought about that, but I wanted to give Noah a shout out. God bless it. God damn
okay.
it.
Well, I'm gonna realign our course of action here.
Yeah.
The first two quarterfinals, Nora against Fnatic. Nora showed the fuck up. Empire against Liquid. Liquid, they just kind of fell off the rails. They got the first map, and then it was Empire all the way, cruising to the end. G2 Space Station. There's a picture that Sam just posted of me on Twitter. That is me sleeping during the G2 SSG game. Because I was so fucking tired that I needed to take a nap in between games because I was doing EG Rec to round out the day of the quarterfinals. I did go back that night, slightly drunk, not gonna lie, but I did go back and watch parts of the VOD, but I did not see the game in its entirety, but I know it was one of the best games of the entire tournament.
It really was. It was an incredible game. I was very happy with SSG.
Yeah, like I said, they're my hill to die on, and holy fuck did they show up for me. I'm so happy.
And holy fuck did I die on that goddamn hill.
Yep.
I died on that motherfucker.
Always.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I think, which was the most heartbreaking for a lot of people. Well, second most heartbreaking. Nora losing to Empire the next day on Saturday. That was probably the most heartbreaking game and result of the whole tournament. But EG Reciprocity, fuck, man. Fuck. It hurt. It hurt to be the one to cast it. But it was an honor to also be the one on the call trying to, I don't know, piece together what was happening, explain what was going on. And I'll be dead honest, we didn't have any breaks in between maps 1 and 2. But after map 1, me and Devin just kind of looked at each other while we were off camera, and we were talking about some bullshit, but like, we were making some pretty good suggestive eye contact that like, this is over. This is over. This is EG running away with it. There's no fucking chance after that display on Bank that Reciprocity have a hope in hell. Yeah, we were wrong. We were fucking wrong, man. Oh, my God, EG. Oh, and I feel bad for them. So, the same thing that happened to us happened to them, which was, we got called in extremely fucking early in the morning to kind of sit around for no reason for multiple hours before anything even started. As did EG, and they were stuck in the building all day, and their game didn't even start until like 8:30, 9 p.m., and they were in the building at 6 a.m. I think they were actually up in the lobby at 6 a.m. I think they're at the building by like 7. Same as us, actually. So that sucked. It was also really unfortunate just because you could see the exhaustion on their faces. And Gotcha kind of took to Twitter to explain like what was going on and how unfortunate it was. It wasn't using it as an excuse or anything. He was just kind of saying like, hey, this is kind of what happened. We came out hot and we ran out of steam just because of the exhaustion. And it sucks. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but these are tournament games. These are situations that, and it's also like, I find it hard to believe that players of this caliber who have been through this shit so many times, that's kind of the culprit. Because I mean, you've been through 2 invitationals. This is your 3rd invitational. You've been doing this shit all through groups. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we were always in the building at fucking 8 a.m., 7:30 a.m. Like, we were in there early. And the stream didn't even start until 10 a.m. And a lot of people's games didn't, again, start until like 8:30, 9 p.m. Sometimes 10:30 on the B stream because every fucking game had to go 3 maps. But it was just quite unfortunate that EG kind of ran out of steam. And I gotta give full fucking marks to Reciprocity. Like I said heading in, didn't have a lot of faith. But this was going to be the true litmus test. And let me tell you, Reciprocity looked like the real deal. And I don't get it. I'm still going to go on record and say I don't understand why it is working so well. I said when we had the interview with Ranger, and he asked for our top 4 heading into the second half, which we botched completely. I said Cloud9, and that was before they turned to Rec, but I said I would give them the 4 spot simply because I thought the change would allow them to outfrag opponents. Just simply turn it into a death match and outfrag a lot of opponents. And they have continued to do that, but at a high level. And they are still incredibly patient. They still wait for teams to make the first mistake, and they pounce on you. That's kind of the thing. The reason they lost to Fnatic on that very first game looked like their heads weren't in it as far as their mentality game was concerned. After that game, it looked like a wake-up call, because we were talking to Gabe, we were talking to Alex, so Laxing and Skies, and Mark in the lobby, and Davide. We were talking to all of them in the lobby right after that game, actually. And they were just like, all 4 of them in unison, in chorus, were just saying, we know what we did wrong, we know what we need to fix, we don't even need to go back and look at the VOD, we know what we fucked up on, we know we were getting too aggressive and taking too many steps forward and walking into the shit they had set up for us. As soon as we peel back a little bit, it's over. And they'll make a run. Or so they said, we'll make a run. And look at the fucking run they made. The only problem is they ran into G2 in the semis, and G2 didn't G2 didn't really slow down after they beat Space Station in that very, very close game.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah,
just kept it rolling. So.
It was unfortunate to see EG kind of just like run out of energy at the end like that, but fuck, man, that was a barn burner. The last 2 semifinals of the day, G2 SSG and EG Rec, probably 2 of the best games the entire tournament. Nora Empire as well was up there, but I'd give Fnatic Rec the game I casted just because I casted and I watched it and I thought it was a really entertaining and fun back and forth game. I give EG Rec, and I give Space Station and G2 probably my top 3 games as far as performance-wise of the tournament. Just how close it was, how competitive it was, how high tier it was. I think all 3 of those games really stand out in my mind as games that should go down in history as some of the best matches ever played.
I mean, personally speaking, I think the best match that we probably had was the G2 versus SSG game, honestly.
Yeah.
That game that you had that you were discussing about was decent. I thought it was really good. I'd definitely put it in the top 3. The what was the one that you were just saying that was your favorite because you casted it?
Either Nora Empire or EG Rec. Either one of them.
EG Rec.
Okay.
EG Rec. So, but honestly, I'd say for you at least, I would definitely say the EG Rec game just because, you were in the fucking stadium at the time. Like that's a ridiculous feeling. So, I mean, I can't even imagine. Like the fucking crowd at USN was like decent, but like the fucking crowd at Invite was insane. I wish the only thing I would say I wish that the Rainbow Six community as a whole would get a little bit louder. Like actually just like start chants, do that kind of shit. I feel like more or less like they just like watch the game and then every once in a while there's like a let's go whatever team and then that's about it.
I think the problem was, especially because I know what you're talking about, the crowd was The crowd was full by the end. Don't get me wrong. Saturday and Sunday, the crowd was full. And we were getting a lot of shit on Reddit and Twitter and stuff about how the crowd was empty on Friday. Guys, it's a school day. It's a work day. And it starts at fucking 10 a.m. Like, yeah, no shit. People probably bought tickets and they're going to come on the weekend when they don't have school and work. Relax. Understand that it's a 3-day playoff tournament. Happens every single tournament we do. Fridays are not good for attendance. Saturdays and Sundays are when real shit shows up. Relax. Everyone needs to fucking cool it on the audience fucking things on Fridays. Because there's a goddamn post about it every motherfucking tournament. Every tournament on the Friday. Oh, the crowd's empty. Oh, I thought they sold this many tickets. Why is no one Shut the fuck up. Use your brains.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up and use your heads. Like, holy shit, that shit drives me crazy.
Pull your head out of your ass.
Please.
Start using it.
Now, Saturday and Sunday, the seats were full. But the energy was a little low. And let me tell you, it really fucking died down after Nora was eliminated by Empire, because there was no crowd favorite at that point. G2, they win everything. The crowd just kind of leaned to the side of G2. I guess because they hated Empire more. I don't know. We're in Canada. Canada and Russia have this old hockey rivalry, if you're not aware. The old Super Series back in the day, it turned into like a huge bench clearing brawl in like the 70s. And it just like it fueled a rage. Like there was a huge Canadian-Russian rivalry, like way bigger than the Cold War was for you guys in the States. Like over a hockey game, over a motherfucking hockey game, we still to this day, nearly 45 years later, hate Russia. Hate them. Despise them as a country, as a nationality, as their players. Like, we don't have anything against them as people, like the whole nation, but we just have this ingrained fucking rivalry with them.
Well, don't worry. Hockey-wise, we hate you, so it's okay.
Exactly. So it's the same kind of thing where, like, as a majority Canadian audience, I know a lot of people flew out. I know a lot of people from around the world came to attend. But considering it's in Montreal, another very hockey and hateful motherfucking place in the world as far as Canada is concerned, if you're not aware, French Canadians hate a lot of basically anyone who isn't them as well, and that's not
they
being.
They hate a lot of basically everyone who isn't them.
I mean, I know that sounds.
Dude.
I know that sounds awful, but it's the truth. It just is. Man. They are a very separatist, individualistic province and people as a whole. So you're at a majority Canadian attendance event. You got a Russian team who a lot of people are still accusing of cheating, even though they've been checked on land multiple times. You got G2, the team that wins fucking everything. Or you got Reciprocity, filled with, I'd say, people on the internet who tend to display some egos at times, I would say is fair. Those are your three remaining teams. Nora was the Cinderella story. And once they got eliminated, the crowd really fucking died down because there was no good story for the crowd to follow. And it was disappointing, and they just had to turn to G2 because it was the least of three evils. And G2 slapped the shit out of Reciprocity on the second semifinal. So there was no energy after the Nora Empire game. And the way the Nora Empire game ended with the team kill, it took all the fucking breath out of the room. It took the breath out of me, and I was fucking calling it. Like, that was heartbreaking too. I literally lost all the air in my lungs as soon as Papilia TK'd Waka.
And depression settles in. That's
Dude,
literally that's like right then. You definitely had the best call for that because it was literally just like, oh, man, that really was like the shot heard around the world right there for that game. 100%.
Everything went quiet. Like the whole arena went quiet. I went quiet. Yeah, it just like
eerily quiet.
The silence was piercing, and that was the biggest part about it. And then after that, like, yeah, I wish there was a better storyline to follow into the finals, because like last year at the Invitational, it was a much smaller venue, but the crowd was so fucking EG favorite. We wanted NA to win. We wanted to take down G2. At the time they were Penta. Still, we wanted to take them down. We wanted NA to repeat at the Invitational. There was so much North American pride. Considering it's a North American held event, there's going to be a majority, again, North American audience. And again, you've got a Canadian audience supporting your North American teams. You got a majority Canadian audience supporting a guy whose name is literally in-game Canadian. Like, there's a lot of nationalistic and regionality pride when it comes to the EG against Penta game from last year. And the crowd fucking lost their mind. I was in that crowd making that noise along with everyone else. And it was insane. And it was loud as shit. I guarantee you, If someone put a decibel meter in the audience last year at Tohu compared to the audience at Bell Place, there was probably a louder contingent last year in a like 400, 500 seat arena compared to like the 5,000 or 6,000 people we had at Bell Place. And that's
100%.
that's disappointing, but I understand why it happened.
It just sucks. And I think the biggest thing is that people like get afraid to try and like start things up. And I think overall, like North America just doesn't have, that good of like chance. I mean, like it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what to compare it to sports wise. I think the best two sports for like just pure like volume and just awesome things that just happen throughout the match are soccer and hockey. Because and Flynn will know this because hockey is the one sport where they do not give a shit how much shit you talk to the other team. Football, whatever, they're like, oh, that's unsportsmanlike. You can't really do that. Fucking hockey, the guy will come into the penalty box and there will be a guy sitting behind the glass with a fucking roster sheet of the other team. And he will go, hey, everybody, this guy's name's P. Kane. Say hi, P. Kane. Hi, P. Kane. You suck. And people will just shit talk this man the entire time he's in the box. Like, everything inside of hockey and soccer is like done to elevate your team. Like, all of that shit. Like, if you guys go listen to a soccer game might end 1-0 or it might end in a tie, but the entire time they're like, ole, 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 ole. And that's literally so that people can't hear calls on the field for their team. Like, it's crazy shit like that. And that shit happens in esports. Go watch CSGO. Literally inside of CSGO, they will smoke off angles and wave their fucking sight across that smoke to see if they get a crowd reaction. If the crowd goes, oh, then they'll fucking shoot to see if they can hit them through the smoke. It happens all the time. I'm so serious. Go look up smoke baits on YouTube for CS. Like, that shit happens so commonly. It almost happened actually at this event for I think it was
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I really wish that the crowd would want to be more active in having their team win. Like, you can be the difference. You can be the difference in your team victory. If you're loud enough, you can straight up fuck up team comms. Like, easy. So easy. Like, that is one thing that gets talked about a lot inside of like League of Legends and CS. Like, that's why at the international for Dota that they put him inside of those big, I'm trying to think what you'd even call them. It's like a
soundproof booths.
Yeah, it's basically a soundproof booth. Yeah. They put him inside of a soundproof booth and they have them put on noise canceling headphones with white noise as well. So like,
you can still like with a crowd that rambunctious and with energetic, you can still feel it though. You can feel the vibrations and shit. Yeah. Like, especially like just being up there standing above all of it, even when I was casting, I could still feel the crowd when they got hyped for a Nora round. And I could feel the Nora chants in my fucking chest when it was getting loud. Like, it makes a difference. And I think you're right. I think the Siege audience really needs to like, I don't know. We've turned hockey really quick as far as like audiences are concerned and like expectations of fucking like civility and old school rituals and shit.
Fuck civility.
Well, I just mean like, dude, the amount of people who get butthurt over a teabag. What?
Oh my god.
It's an esport. We're a bunch of fucking 20-year-olds.
Yeah, the amount of people that get butthurt over a teabag, a minor joke, like all this shit that like, bro, go into a ranked match inside of Rainbow Six Siege. I don't understand how you guys fucking breathe air and walk outside. I really don't. Like, if you get offended that easily that a minor joke or a teabag or like shooting somebody's body after they're dead or anything like that is like actually makes you offended or angry, you need to go to counseling. Like, that is you cannot live a life like that, man, guy. You can't live a life like that. Like, legitimately, if that's the way that like I carried myself to where any of that stuff offended me, there is no fucking possible way that Flynn and I could be friends ever. Like, Flynn tells me to literally, the last text message that I have from Flynn is telling me to go fuck myself. Like,
is it? I think I said that. Yeah, I don't even remember it. Like,
yeah. Here, I'll read it to you. Hold on.
Oh, don't actually read
I
that.
said,
Don't read that. Actually, don't read that.
I said, I'll be home. And you said, hello, you fucking reject. And
There
I
you
said,
go.
I just walked in the door, eat a fucking dick. And you said, fuck you.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
going to say, don't finish that sentence.
Yeah. I skipped that. I skipped that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
returning to my original point, I don't get what happened in Siege, because like, oh man, I don't know. It's like the Siege esport community suddenly like had a moment where everyone had to recoil and like they hate, and this is coming from a caster's perspective that likes to get loud and likes to yell, and
Likes to tell people to go fuck themselves.
well, yeah, obviously not on a cast or something, but in general,
oh, yeah, duh.
but like there's an oversweeping opinion of like how everyone needs to be like reserved and robotic and
PC.
yeah,
Just
well,
put a
it's
label
not
on
so
it.
much
I mean, it really
PC.
is.
It's like,
well, no, it really is though. But like,
Just-
really,
just let me-
really think about it though.
let me get my fucking point out there.
Okay, fucker.
There's an overreaching like feeling from the Siege esport audience right now where it's like you can't go over the top on anything. You can't get emotional or incredibly rambunctious or incredibly over enthusiastic about anything, or else it's seen as distasteful. It's seen as just, I don't know, like it just not part of the brand that the audience wants it to be. And I'm like, I look at that shit and I look at hockey, man. I look at the same thing, but the difference between Siege and hockey is that hockey has been run by rich old white men from fucking 1924 for the last 35 years. And it's a ingrained, traditional, nationalistic, prideful sport. It's a fucking esport, guys. Have some passion in the audience. Let people fucking meme around. Let some jokes come out and chat. Let some teabags rain.
Oh,
The amount of
by the way,
shit.
just to put a fucking asterisk here,
Yeah.
the shit that Gohan did does not fall under that. I'm
No.
just letting you know. Like
No.
that, we are not trying to say that is condoned. That is fucking ridiculous. That is what that is. Like, that is-
Sportsmanship and
there's a difference.
teabags
There's
have
a
completely
difference between talking
Yeah.
shit and actually like trying
like
to
losing
harm someone.
yeah, like losing
Yeah.
your fucking mind on the internet. Like the shit that Gohan did on Twitter was inciting like death threats from his audience and from his following to go after Mockett. That's not okay
He
in
did not
any
directly ask, he
in
did not
any
directly
realm.
ask for them
No.
to do anything. He just literally put out in the open space that they tried to have a gents agreement about Caviera and the uniforms that those uniforms that they were wearing. Everyone's calling them spaghetti uniforms, whatever. But they're the I'm trying to think what operation they're from.
Win
Help me out here.
Bastion. It's this
Is
one.
it Win Bastion?
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. I thought it was that one or our last one. But anyways, the Win Bastion skins make it to where everyone basically blends into walls because of the colors. So they tried to have like a gents agreement where people wouldn't use that. And flank, excuse me, not flank. Mockett said no. Mockett was like, we don't want to do that. Fuck you guys. Like we don't have to if we don't want to. And basically he put it out in open space that they didn't agree to that. And of course, all of the fans of Liquid went to Mockett and just started berating them because they didn't accept this gents agreement. It's like it's a fucking esport there, buddy. You can use the uniforms too. Like that's how the fucking thing goes. You can do whatever the other team does unless it's illegal, unless you're fucking breaking the game.
Yeah, so that shit happened, and that's an entirely different category. But like,
yeah,
it doesn't need to be so goddamn reserved. It does not. Like, there's a thing going around in hockey, and I know. I talk about hockey a lot, but guess what? It's a relatable topic here. There's a team.
it's a sport. This is a sport.
There you
We're
go.
all sports.
There's a team right now called the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh god.
They've been bad for a very, very long time. Like an exceptional amount of time. They flukily won the cup in 06. Yeah, so 5-06. They barely fucking scraped together off of Cam Ward, a rookie goaltender, just carrying them and got them a cup. Since then, I think they've been to the playoffs once, and that's been 13 years. They've been in the basement for the last, 10 years. This year, they have a lot of, energetic and young talent. They're a bunch of, their entire core right now is between the ages of, 19 and 24.
It's basically a bunch of college students.
Exactly. So, like, they're a very young team, but they're in a shit market, first of all. Nobody in Carolina gives a singular fuck about hockey. Like, I imagine a lot of you don't. And second of all, the team is not financially stable. They just had a whole debacle about who's going to be actually funding the motherfucking team next year. And they're trying to rile up some interest in their team because no one gives a singular fuck. So they're doing some things like this. Do you remember at the World Cup, I can't remember who, it was Iceland, that they did like the thunderclap thing to get their fans going a couple years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So Carolina tried to rip off that, and they were doing like a thunderclap at the end of the game if they won. And then they were doing like mock skills competitions like for 5 minutes at the end of the game if they won. And they're just paying fan service. They're not getting paid to do it. They're trying to make it more energetic and inclusive and do some wacky ass, childish, but entertaining ass celebrations at the end of the game for winning a game to try and draw some people in to come see what the experience is about. Tickets at a fucking Hurricanes game right now are like $5 fucking for nosebleeds. In reference, for a good team right now in a Canadian market, they're like $300 a ticket for nosebleeds. It's dirt motherfucking cheap out there. They are scraping together pennies to keep the team alive. And the entire hockey media ripped Carolina to shreds over it because they were fucking having fun. And I see the same attitude in Siege right now where it's like, oh, if you're trying to like the teabagging thing at USN between Troy and Davide, oh my dear fucking lord, if I saw one post about that, I saw 20. And it was all, oh, Troy's being toxic, Davide's being toxic. You can't do that. That's not sportsman. Dude, they were literally hunting each other for 3 maps straight. Back and forth. Who's gonna kill who? It was those two motherfuckers going at it. And they gave it a little bit back to each other.
Yeah. Same thing with, we can actually reference something in an invite. Fucking Canadian versus Uno. That entire fucking game.
Yeah.
Like literally, and guys, I know you guys have seen this clip because everyone that follows our podcast follows esports for Rainbow Six. Everyone has seen the clip from this invite of Canadian literally fucking screaming.
Oh, yeah.
I know you can fucking hear me. You cannot stop me. Like that right there, that is not fucking BM. That is just a little bit of fucking banter. That is fine. That is okay. Everyone that's like, well, if Gohan gets banned, then fucking Canadian needs to get. You're a fucking idiot. Stop it. Actually use your brain and think. He didn't say anything bad. He didn't go, hey, they didn't agree to let me kill them, so they're a bunch of fucking idiots and blah, blah, blah. Like, he didn't do that. He literally just talked some shit and moved on and played the next fucking map. That was it. That's it. That is a hockey player that now plays Rainbow Six. That is exactly what that is. He got fucking amped up and he's like, let's go, shit. Motherfucker. Yeah.
As a former hockey player myself, I would do that shit all the time.
Dude, I do that shit in fucking ranked. If I get a fucking 4K and I'm fucking popping off, fuck you. Like, I'll say it in chat. Fuck you. You can't stop me. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, that is competitive. That is a competitive shit. If you guys have ever played a sport in your entire life, football, you're on the line. If you line up across from the other dude, you're talking shit. Baseball, somebody's fucking standing, you're playing first base, and you got a guy on first base, you're talking to that man's ear the whole time. What's up, you fucking pussy? You think you're gonna make it to second base? You can't fucking run. Look at you with your fucking nubby ass feet, motherfucker. Like, you're talking shit the whole time. That is how it works. There is a blatant difference between talking shit and actually trying to attack somebody. There's a blatant difference. And if you don't know that difference, then don't weigh in on the subject.
It's also
that's just how it is.
There's a difference between that shit, like the teabagging and the shit talking and like the chirping and the like, I don't know, just the sportsmanship between the two. And then what like Gohan did online, like the shit that we're talking about isn't hurting anybody. It isn't hurting a single human being. They throw it back at each other all the time. It's sportsmanship. They go back and forth. It's gamesmanship. It's mentality games. The shit Gohan did was going public. That's like going to the press and being like, they're all a bunch of fucking cowards anyway. Screw their whole team. Hope they all die in a plane crash. Like, Gohan didn't say it in those fucking words, but like, dude, you knew what you were doing. Like, you went to the internet with your thousands upon thousands of followers and basically, like, you took it public. Don't take it public. Shit happens in games all the time on live TV, and yet nobody cares.
Dying of
Except
fucking plane
except
crash.
in Siege, all of a sudden it becomes like this. I don't know. There's an imaginary code of ethics that the fans created, and they try to uphold the players to it. And I'm like, guys,
It's literally just it. Look, it's just the fact that like what we're the okay. Little bit of fucking talk about this shit, then we'll move on from this.
yeah.
from this
Let's get one more
specific
sentence in,
thing.
and we're done.
Yeah. So basically, the culture that we're basically going up through right now is a lot of anti-bullying, everyone has to be nice to everybody in every single context. And that fall is starting to trying to trickle into sports and esports and all that stuff, which is fine. Okay. That's okay. I got bullied in high school. I got bullied in middle school. I got bullied in elementary school, blah, 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 blah. Luckily, me personally, I didn't let that affect me. I didn't give a fuck about what other people's opinions were. I was able to identify that and go, look, your opinion really doesn't fucking matter to me because I don't give a fuck about who you are or what you say. And I was able to move my way through grade school and whatever and get out on the other side of that. And I was perfectly fine. Now, I understand that some other people are heavily affected by that and let other people's words get to them. Trust me, I cast in front of an audience. I can see Twitch chat. I can see it. I can see, hey, Stokes, did you know that you stutter? You don't think I know I stutter. You don't think that I know I fuck up words sometimes. You don't think I know what I do when I fuck up? Like, you don't think I go back and rewatch and go, I really fucked that up, or they need to fix that next time. You don't think I know that? Yes, I know that. Yes. Yeah. After a while, it does get to me. Yeah, I do, sometimes fucking lay in my bed at night and go, okay, yeah, like that shit actually fucking hurts. Like the fucking Reddit post over the weekend that was like, hey, Stokes, did you know you stutter? Here's all the reasons on why you stutter. And here's a clip of you stuttering so that everybody can see you stutter. Thanks, buddy, because I didn't fucking know I stuttered. You're right. Like, I understand what bullying is. I get it. It's not fun. I understand that. But there's a blatant difference from trying to attack somebody to actually just talking shit and everything being okay. There is some shit in life, okay? Overall, there is some shit in life that you're going to have to eat, okay? You're just going to have to eat the fucking bullshit and move on with your life. You cannot let other people's inferior opinions affect you personally. I know it's really hard. I know it's really easy to say. I get that. I get it. But the fact that right now we're trying to fucking blanket and pillow coat everything in your fucking life because you can't handle it, that is fucking ridiculous. That is stupid. There is that doesn't breed a stronger person. That breeds weakness, and that is fucking stupid. And the reason that it's stupid is the fact that anything that comes in your way, you're immediately going to have a knee-jerk reaction of, oh my fucking God, why is this happening to me? Like, there's going to be people in your life that don't give a fuck about you. There's going to be people in your life that don't give a fuck about your opinion, how you feel, or what you say. There's going to be people that wish you death. There's going to be people that wish your entire family death. There's going to be people that wish you cancer. There's going to be people that wish every fucking terrible thing in the book on you. And you're going to have to deal with that. It's going to happen. There's 7 billion people in the world. There's going to be some cocksucker that doesn't like you, and you're going to have to learn to deal with it. Not everybody is in this boat of PC culture and everyone just needs to be happy. Let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya. No, that's not everybody. So some way, somehow, you're going to have to learn to deal with this. I understand what we're going up in right now. I'm 22 years old. I am definitely at the age right now that I know what's going on. I'm not my parents. I'm not 49. Okay. Like my parents can identify this shit. There's so many things that has changed within our culture in the last 20 years that some of it's for the good and some of it's for the bad, like I'm not trying to sit out here and say bullies are a good thing, because they're not. The bullies are just people that don't like themselves. There's issues going on in their life and they take it on other people to try and make themselves feel better and try and bring somebody down to their level. That's exactly what a bully is. But there's a difference between bullying and inside of a game that you're playing competitively, actually just talking shit.
Well,
there's a blatant difference.
There's the difference I want to touch on, which is outside of the game, these people all like and respect each other.
Oh yeah, they
you guys
love each other.
You guys understand that, right? Like we all go out to the same bars, we all go to the same dinners. Like there are very few pro players and pro teams who actually have grievances against each other at any personal level. What we're talking about here is happening inside of a game. It's inside the game. But once the game ends, once the game is over, once you're off that stage or out of that booth, it's done. It's not like it's carrying over into some big overarching thing. Yes, there's other drama that happens in real life between players and teams. And yes, there are like a couple instances in which things have gone across the line in real life. But understand that there is a hard set separation between what happens in the game and what happens outside of the game. What happens outside of the game is not okay. When it gets to the line of you're inciting fans to come in and start issuing death threats, and whether or not he meant to do it or not, again. But there's other instances that have happened outside. I mean, you know what? To kind of touch a bullet that probably will bite me in the ass at one point, Pengu has said a lot of dumb shit on the internet. We've all said a lot of dumb shit on the internet. And that's crossed the line. That is crossing a line because that's taking it out of the context of the game and going against each other, and then taking it into the open world, into the public. What happens inside of the game is a completely different aspect and completely different universe compared to what happens in the real world. Outside of the context of that individual game, or that individual tournament, or that individual season, is completely separate to what happens outside, man. Like, everyone is friends with each other. Everyone props up and respects each other in this scene if you are a professional in any capacity. It's not like a teabag then carries over into a fucking fist fight backstage. I really wish that people would get that through their heads, that it's not sending an insult at a person. It is gamesmanship. And the other thing that I really want to touch on was the fandom. Last year, people fucking shit on Master Yoda. That Super EG fan. People shit on him. And I felt so fucking bad because I wish there were more of him in the world, in Siege. I wish there were a million fans like that absolutely lost their fucking mind and lived and died and took every single breath for their team. Because that's what this scene deserves, man. The amount of hours and energy and time and sacrifice that a lot of these players and teams as a whole take to get to this level, to make it their full-time career, to try to be the best, we really do have like some very lacking fandom, at least from what we've seen as far as coming out to events. Like, the Brazilian scene is a hard exception to that of what I'm saying. The Latin American scene fucking idolizes their teams and idolizes their players and comes out in droves for their fucking teams.
Yeah, some of the highest following counts on Twitter come from LATAM teams.
Just see it in Twitch chat.
Inside of the top five for Twitter, I believe there's 3 people from Brazil. It's like Zig, Nesk, and I think it's Bullet.
I have no idea, but something along those lines. And I really wish that would be accepted more. I really wish that around the scene, around the esports scene, as far as Siege is concerned, because there's other esports out there that have this. There's other esports that they include this, and they don't villainize extreme fandom, and they don't villainize gamesmanship. And I feel like our scene right now has a weird fucking problem about accepting people going overboard about the game. If you take it outside the game, then yeah, I have a problem with you. If it's all about the game and inside the game, dude, let it fucking ride. Honestly, the comments in-game made by Gohan, I'm not even actually that mad about. Yeah, it's the shit that went to Twitter that I'm mad about. And the stuff in-game, I like... So there's also another difference to that. It was Troy, and honestly all of EG, in the game against Rogue, where the Sherlock shit happened. That was way over the fucking line. And I mean, like, in a fucking stratosphere of its own as far as over the line. And they got penalized for it, and they got reprimanded for it, and they got yelled at for it. Don't get me wrong. And that's good. Because that was, again, outside of the game. That was taking an official who is not... Like, it's just completely unbiased and separate and completely third-party and neutral to the whole situation and just trying to follow the rules. And EG as a whole stepped way over the line in that case, into a degree, into a territory that is not acceptable, because it's not about someone in the game, and it's honestly it's personally attacking someone for just doing their job. That's not okay. The shit that Gohan said, like the nice Cav play and the nice uniforms, dude, let it ride. Let it ride as long as it's in game. As soon as it goes outside the game, I got a problem. If it's inside the game, man, dude, let it fucking go. Let me see it. Let me fucking see it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. And here's the reason. I know people are like, oh, well, that's just toxicity, blah, 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 whatever. The reason that, personally for me, that
Get
I'm
this
saying,
in.
like, yeah, what's up?
Get this in, and we're done with it, because I want to move on.
Okay. All right. The reason that I'm saying, like, let it ride is the fact that that is legitimately just kind of a strategy inside of sports in general. If you can get inside of a
100%.
player's head and
100%.
just for a second make them either extremely mad where they're going to misplay or something along those lines. Obviously not saying, well, you can get away with a lot of other things inside of sports. I can talk about fucking your mom, but I'm not going to do that inside of game in front of ESL. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
there's a
I'm not
difference
gonna
as
type
well,
game,
because
like-
all chat goes to the stream versus like in sports where you can just yell across a bench.
Could you just imagine fucking Canadians playing against like fucking Rogue and he's like, hey, easily, I fucked your mother last night. Like,
Yeah, that wouldn't end well.
oh no, it would not end well at all.
No, you gotta toe a line
Yeah.
in game, because there's a difference
Yeah.
between traditional sports and shit. But like the whole Troy getting up and yelling across the
I'm
sep
fine
or
with that
the
shit.
partition, dude, that's
Oh,
cool.
That's great.
That's cool. That's hilarious. That's
love it.
energetic, and that's gamesmanship. And honestly, he knew, and I wouldn't.
Stop me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised if that actually like pissed off the stream. Good, let it piss them off. If it's gonna get to you and like tilt you like that, then good,
Mhm.
let it go, man.
Mhm.
Like I said, as soon as it gets outside the game, as soon as that best of 3 is over, it stops, and they go shake hands, and they're respectful to one another, and everyone in that inside of that map on either side knows that it was just inside the game, and they are still friends, and they are still colleagues, and they still respect each other.
Oh
But
my
I think we're
fucking
done.
God.
I think we're done. I think we're done with this. Let's just fucking move on. Let's
You know what I just realized?
what?
Pangu's younger than, I'm pretty sure. When's your birthday?
October 10th, 1997. I think
He
he's
is
older
October
than me.
7th, 1997. He's 3 days
He's
older than
3
you.
days older than me.
I am older than Pangu, and he's made $302,000 playing this game. I'm fucking. I need. Oh my god. How old's Fabian?
Oh, way
Please be
older.
old.
He's finished college or university.
Yeah, July 28th, 1994. He's
yeah,
age
he's
24.
way
Yeah.
older. Yeah.
Goga's like real old, right?
I think
no, he's same age, 24.
Okay, 94. Yeah.
Who's the oldest player on the team? Oh, it's Jonas. Jonas is 25.
Yeah.
Kanta? Kanta's only 20 years old, dude.
Yeah.
I need to stop sucking at this game. Jesus Christ,
Dude, no, we're far too gone. We're stuck in the casting career. We're stuck down this path.
I know. We've went too far down this path. To
Yeah,
change it
really.
now.
Yeah,
we can't be
we're-
like, hey, I'm gonna stop so I can go be a Challenger League player. People would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, really. That boat has sailed. We are
Yeah.
we're fucked. Although Apex is around.
Hey,
ESL just made an Apex account, so you never know.
you hopping in with me, dude?
Fuck
Come
no.
on.
Fuck no. I don't play anything with Siege. Honestly, I don't play anything with Siege. I am content to cast Siege and play Siege and just live and die by Siege. So let's move on. I don't know. Empire got fucking dismantled in the finals. It's the only game we haven't talked about yet, other than like the flawless rounds that I mentioned. But like, that wasn't even close. That wasn't even a game worth watching. The finals, like that, like the unlimited overtime was cool and all for Coastline. And there were a lot of questions out there, at least on the Pro League subreddit. And I actually talked to Parker. Parker and I were beside each other and talking on the flight back to Toronto from Montreal. And we were talking about it, and he was just saying, like, dude, we saw Empire backstage when we went to like go grab some water and stuff in the break because they threw to the desk, so they had time to like go rock a piss because it went fucking 22 rounds. And he was just saying, like, Empire looks so drained, like, so fucking tired, so dejected. And there was a question about it on the subreddit, on the Pro League subreddit that I saw the next day that was like, what if G2 just slapped them map 1 and it didn't go so long and it didn't take so much energy out of Empire? I don't know. Maybe it's a 3-1. Maybe Empire claws back the next map, but, like, dude, you weren't winning against G2. You had no fucking shot. Like, that game completely showed, like, there was no chance for Empire.
Yeah, and honestly, the main thing is like I understand that Empire showed a lot of prowess throughout this entire tournament, but there's one thing that Empire does not do that is a absolutely fatal flaw, and it is such a pivotal thing inside of Rainbow Six Siege, and G2 always capitalizes on it. They did not adjust. They do not adjust ever. Ever. They do the same thing over and over and over again until they pummel you into the dirt. And G2 doesn't pummel into the dirt. G2 is like water. You try and punch it and it just goes right around your hand. They adapt. That's what they do. That's what G2 has always done so very well, is they adapt.
Yeah.
And they showed you right there. Look how close Coastline was. Look how close that game was. They played the exact same game, ladies and gentlemen. G2 just won that map. So they both played that amount of rounds. What was it? 22 rounds? 22 rounds on one map? 22 rounds on one map. They both did that and took a break after that. Both teams did that.
Mm-hmm.
And G2 came out on top handedly in the next two maps. Easiest fucking games of their lives in the next two maps.
Yep.
Empire didn't even look like the same team. And you want to know why? It's because G2 adjusts. They played Coastline against them and said, these are the adjustments we need to make. They took that little bit of break. Fabi and all them got together, talked about it with Shots, and was like, this is the adjustments we need to make. Let's make it happen. Did it. Fucking wiped the floor. Literally put the entire fucking team of Team Empire inside of their fucking caskets and buried them on the next two maps. Like, it was a no contest. Like, it was fucking slight work for them after that. So, again, you might go, okay, well, what if what? They played the exact same game. G2's just fucking better. That's it. Empire was not the team that you wanted to be in that final to play G2. They're not.
Honestly, SSG was.
Yeah, SSG was the team you wanted to be there. SSG right now is in a very good spot. I think you guys are going to see a lot out of them on this next split. I think they're back to form, and I'm very, very excited for it. I would say that the biggest thing right now, just overall, if we're just going to run down teams for the brackets overall, like what we think real quick, is what do we have time-wise?
We're at an hour and a half.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, I don't know if you just said this because I was responding to a DM, but SSG was the only team to take a map off G2 in the entire tournament.
I didn't say that, but yes,
okay.
They are.
They are the only team to take a map off G2 in the entire Invitational. Mantis came close.
Yep.
But
Mantis
yeah,
came very
after
close,
that,
yes.
it wasn't even like the only one that was ever close after that was Space Station winning a map against them, and then
and Team Empire
Coastline,
Coastline.
the Coastline game, yep.
All right, so we'll just go over I guess the top 8 teams and tell you guys really what their each flaw is right now, underlining each team. Fnatic kind of has this fucky thing with Norengo where it's just their kryptonite. They just get inside of their own heads and they play not to lose. They don't play to win. So Norengo just capitalized on that and won 2-0. Team Empire versus Team Liquid. Again, Team Liquid literally was just not Team Liquid. Like they just weren't. The entire tournament, they literally just would sit. They would not push. They would not adjust. And they would just sit and stare at angles and just hope for something to happen. And somehow they picked up a fucking map. Somehow. They picked up Coastline. They picked up Coastline 7-4. So, and then they got 7-4.
That was the first one. They went 5-1 out the split. And then, like, Empire started clawing back some rounds back even on the end of Coastline, too. And it was just like, after that game, like, it was back and forth in the beginning, like the early rounds between the two of them, and then after that, Empire just kind of ran away with it at the end of each map.
Yep. And then G2 versus Space Station, that was literally just a battle of titans, all except Bank. Like, G2's prowess on Bank is insane.
To be honest, that was the true grand final right there.
Yeah. Yep. That really just told you who was going to win that 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. So, in case you guys were wondering, the map that Space Station took off of G2 was Clubhouse. They took them off at 8-7, and there's no infinite overtime until the final, by the way. So it's not a coin flip anymore because you get to pick sides, but we still call it a coin flip overtime because there's only 3 rounds. So, anyways, won that, and they lost Bank and lost Villa. Villa was a lot closer than Bank. But Space Station's main thing right now is that after that initial win, I think that the pressure just built up on them of just, what was going on. And G2, again, it's the same thing as last year. When G2's down, they calm down. They're like, we have nothing to lose at this point, everything to gain. And they just play their game and they win. And they did it yet again. So next up, Evil Geniuses versus Team Reciprocity. Evil Geniuses was so fucking focused and up inside of G2's asshole that they couldn't even see outside of it. And Reciprocity capitalized on that and punished them for it. So they just really need to focus on the person in front of them, not what's going down the line. And I really feel like that'll help them out.
Well,
also,
I mean, like, just to kind of recap some of the things that Devin and I brought up on the broadcast, it was that Team Reciprocity is also the only team to defeat EG in the first half of the regular season right now in Pro League. Reciprocity also showed their adaptability and their fluidity throughout the entirety of the tournament, not only against like everyone inside of the group they had to play. And those are 3, Fnatic, FaZe, and NIP. Those are all 3 games that went 3 maps, and they showed you how they can outlast teams. They seem to have stamina in spades right now and patience in spades right now, which is remarkable for a team full of fraggers. Because that's kind of been the knock on teams full of fraggers for a very long time, is that they get way over aggressive, they commit way too early, and they're way too energetic, and they get lost in the hunting for kills instead of playing the objective.
You might want to explain the stamina a little bit inside of this, because people are probably questioning what you mean by that.
Well, I mean, just the length of the fucking games, dude. Like, you got 8-6, 7-5, 7-5 to start things off. 38 out of 45 possible rounds. Next game against NIP. You got an 8-6 on the first map. So this is another one that goes 14 into overtime. And then they start reeling back. And they actually lost that game on Consulate against NIP. And then they come back with a 7-0-7-3. So you still got to go 3 maps to do it. They lost the first map against NIP. On elimination map then, they had to claw it back. They go with a 7-0 and then another 7-3. So they had to out-duel NIP in a stamina game, and they won out. Last game, the decider against FaZe. 7-1. Quick start on Coast, then a 7-5 on Bank, and another fucking overtime map, 8-6 on Consulate. That is so many goddamn rounds played. Dude, you gotta be so gassed after that. I dare you guys out there, if you guys haven't played comp before, or if you've never been in a competitive situation, I fucking dare you to go play a Go4, and if you can make it some distance in a Go4, you will understand what I'm talking about. When a Go4 is not even like top tier competitive competition against the best teams in the world, and that will drain the ever living shit out of you. That will put you on your ass.
I think the best explanation for it is this. Think about those days on Saturdays, guys, where you wake up and you're like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to play ranked all day. And for like the first 2 hours, you suck. And then for the next like 3 to 4 hours after that, you're really fucking good and you're actually like up to speed. And then after that, you suck again for the rest of the night. And the reasoning is you can't stay that hyper focused on something for that long and expect to have the same results. Like it is just not fucking possible. It is not possible.
Yeah, all of those games are between 3.5 and 4 hours long.
And you have to be hyper fucking focused, because if you're not, and that guy like peeks with just his shoulder, if you're not already shooting, you're probably dead. That's how LAN works. Like, it's just, yeah.
That's stamina, man, and Reciprocity showed it off in spades. And again, they had to do it against Evil Geniuses as well to get to the semis. They get dominated first map on Bank 7-2. I looked at Devin and I said, dude, this is over. EG is walking away with this. Devin looked at me and said, EG's walking away with this. The whole fucking crowd thought EG was walking away with it. Reciprocity, again, the stamina game, their ability to outlast their opponents is fucking remarkable. And it's interesting to see them perform not only in a best-of-1 scenario in the regular season, but also in a best-of-3 scenario, because there's been a lot of teams who have done, and I think Dark Zero is a prime candidate for this kind of marker, in which they do quite well in best-of-1s, because they're always doing well in the regular season. But you take a look at them in the invitational qualifiers that were all best-of-3s, their first maps were good. Their second and third maps were not. And that's what we mean by stamina. Some teams have it, and some teams got to work on it. And it takes a lot of time and experience to get there. And I know Dark Zero is a team that played through a whole year of Pro League when the games were best-of-3s. I understand that. But now they've had almost an entire year now of playing inside a best-of-1 scenario. And that's a different environment. That's an entirely different world. You understand, you're scrimming BO1s as well. You're just going one map, okay, we won it or lost it, or you don't even focus on wins or losses in scrims. You focus on like what you're retooling and what you're fixing on your strats, and you're experimenting.
Yep.
And for Reciprocity, a team that is very aggressive in late portions of a round, and their fluidity, they always have to be creative on their routing and their pathing throughout a map and their information gathering. That's got to be fucking exhausting to play that kind of play style for 4 hours straight. And like you said, you got to be on 100% of the time. You miss one shot, could be you leaving the tournament. And the only team that really seemed to outpace them and really slow them down was G2. Everyone else, they took their shots. Fnatic, FaZe, NIP, EG. They all took their shots, and those are 4 damn good teams. All 4 of those teams are damn fucking good teams that we could all possibly see again at the finals in Milan for Season 9. And Reciprocity, again, outlasted every single one of them. The only team to really kind of put a crimp in their plans was Reciprocity. Fnatic beat them out the onset, but again, that was them just kind of learning from their mistakes. And once they saw what they did wrong, man, they were fucking going. And another thing I should mention actually is because we talked about this with them, or at least I did while I was there. They don't scrim while they're at events. They do not scrim anyone for preparation while they're at events. And I don't know if that leads into their stamina building, if they're just not gassed from scrims and they just walk in fresh or something, because they talked about how it helps them with their mentality, like they're not getting down on themselves. That's an interesting approach that I don't think any other team out there really utilizes, because there's a lot of teams out there who were fighting for scrims, and we were walking around scrim stations going around trying to find scrims.
The practice
and shit.
area was literally a high school. It was like, this person's not scrimming this person, this person's not scrimming this person, this person hates this person. Like, it was
more like we're in the same group, or we're like preparing for playoffs and we don't want them to have anything on us. And it was all like picking your scrims perfectly and seeing who you could get away with scrimming and all this shit. And Reciprocity just did not give a fuck. They just did not give a singular... They didn't scrim anyone the entire week. They didn't scrim at all. And I mean, shit. It worked out. Like, their stamina was on point. So I think Reciprocity has proven... Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can finish your idea.
I was just going to say that I think I was probably one of Reciprocity's biggest doubters. Even after the first half.
We were Reciprocity's biggest doubters, probably.
We were Reciprocity's biggest doubters, and I gotta say, I have a whole newfound faith in them to be able to be a top contending team. I'm also very, very surprised that now with these results that Cloud9 is not their org. Let's be honest, Team Reciprocity is nowhere near the stature of an organization like Cloud9. And I wonder how long those rec contracts are, because there's some other orgs out there who are looking to get into Siege, and Reciprocity, again, people said a lot of things about Skies coming in. I was one of them. You were one of them. We both said, this is a bad pickup.
I talk shit, so what?
We are eating our words right now. We are eating our fucking words. Trust me, we know it. We understand. If you're a rec fan out there, we know.
Yep,
we know.
I've eaten worse, though. It's fine.
We had our reasonings. Our reasons turned out to be really fucking wrong. So, Rec, I think, also was one of those surprise, impressive contenders. I think Nora was another one of those teams that was just fucking incredible. Holy shit, their run.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Anyways, I had a talk with Mark, actually, where we were standing at the bar, and I was pretty intoxicated. So you know me when I get intoxicated. I get very eccentric. Get very eccentric about things, especially when it's something I'm passionate in.
Eccentric. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not enunciating. It's fine. Anyways, I got very eccentric.
There you go.
Eccentric. Anyways, excuse me. So, Drunk Stokes was talking to Mark, and we were talking.
Drunk Stokes was talking to Drunk Mark.
I don't think Mark was drunk. Anyways,
really?
Mark might have been drunk. Yeah. It was just more or less sober Mark talking to Drunk Stokes, and basically we had a conversation, and I told him straight up to put Laxine on an island. I think Flynn's getting where I'm going, but I don't think the other people are really understand where I'm coming from. By put Laxine on an island, I mean take Laxine off of operators that have important utility, because Laxine likes to do what Laxine does. You're really not going to tell Laxine what to do as an IGL. Laxine's that guy that you're like, here's a gun, buddy. Go kill things. Here you go. Here you go, buddy. You get this. You get selfish utility. You don't get stuff that helps the team. You get you. You get Zofia. That's what you fucking get. You get stuff like that. I told him, I was like, you should put Laxing on an island. I was like, why do you have Laxing playing operators have important utility? Like, why do you have him playing Thatcher and stuff where he's got to rotate away from the things he's already doing in order to help out other stuff? Why don't you give him the Ash or give him the Zofia or give him the Vigil or the Jaeger or these operators where he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and you have to worry about him dying with utility on hand? And he was like, I never really thought about that. And we had a good conversation about it and stuff like that. So if you guys see that adjustment come out, you heard it here first. It was my fucking idea. And so I need money for that shit. Damn it! If they win a tournament off that shit, it's all my idea. I don't give a fuck.
All right, so I think that's the recap of the games done.
Yeah.
I got to rock a piss so goddamn bad. We said what we wanted to do for this episode was go through all the games first and a reaction to the teams and the gameplay and all that, and then revert all the way back to the beginning of the story to kind of just give our behind the scenes focus. And we've given a lot of behind the scenes interest throughout this, but just kind of our reactions and emotions and stuff to being there and working it. So I got to rock a piss. You start off Saturday. Lots of flights for you. I guess just kind of go from beginning to end, what you were feeling, what you saw. I'll be right back.
All right. So, as you guys know, flew in on the 9th. Yeah, flew in on the 9th. And overall, tournament was fucking amazing. Flew into Montreal. It was cold as shit. I'm living in Texas right now, so it's not cold as shit here, but it was cold as shit in Montreal. Ended up getting my stuff dropped off. I flew in at the same time as Blue did, so we just got the same taxi with our talent manager, who was picking us all up from the airport. We get to the hotel, went down, got some food and stuff, went and saw everybody. It was a pretty good first day. Okay. Overall, Montreal, really, really nice city. I would never live there though, because I do not miss the snow. I fucking hate snow. Would never want to do it again. Okay. I think that overall the coolest parts for actually working the tournament and just, overall my favorite thing that happened throughout it was, there was a couple things. Number one, my transition over these last handful of months from casting CCS to casting Challenger League to casting USN to casting Twitch Rivals to casting the biggest tournament we have in Rainbow Six Siege. My dream became a reality in such a short period of time. It's truly baffling to me. It really is insane. And honestly, I don't even think my casting's that good, guys. I really don't. I go back and listen to my casting. There's so many things that I want to improve on, and so many things that I have written down in my notebook where I'm like, okay, these are my main focal points that I need to change and figure out how to, expand upon that to be better. And it really is just surreal to me that I get paid to do what I do right now. And I really hope this isn't the end for me. You know what I mean? I really hope this isn't the top of the mountain. Really hope that we can keep climbing up. But I honestly think everything really hit me once I got to my hotel room and I was just sitting there, going over information like I traditionally do for the matches that we had set up. And the shitty thing was, this is the matches that I casted and that we casted for the first day. Wasn't even the matches that we were supposed to be casting. We casted our first one, which is Immortals versus Empire. Blue and I did. But then the rest of the schedule got completely fucked up. Emzo's voice went out. That's why I ended up casting with Flynn for the Norengo Penta game. And that's why I didn't know any of the pronunciations for Norengo's team or basically any hard set information about them, because I didn't do prep for them because I wasn't supposed to be casting them, which it sucks, but I'm really happy I did it because I got to cast with Flynn, and Flynn and I had a really good time, just like we always do. So
I'm back, by the way.
Yeah, hey, welcome back, buddy.
Hey.
Anyways, so that really incorporates the first day for me, or ends the first day for me. Second day, more or less the same. I ended up getting to show up later. Well, actually, no, that was my early day. So I showed up earlier second day. So I had to get up at 5 a.m. and fucking throw on a suit and all that stuff and shit, shower and shave, whatever. But I think throughout the entire group stage, I think the coolest thing about it was just the amount of player interaction that you have, because you guys are all under one building, just walking around. There's no crowd. There's nobody. There's no fans stopping anybody. It's literally you, everybody running the production side of things, and the players. That's literally it. So you're just walking around bullshitting to players that, for me, 7 months ago I was looking up to. You know what I mean? And it's a very, very cool thing. I'm not a socially awkward person. Literally, I was actually like thinking about this to myself a couple days ago. Well, a little bit after the tournament. The only person inside of the Rainbow Six Siege that I'm like still like a little bit socially awkward around is Parker, because I don't know how to interact with Parker, because Parker just
Why?
he's a very
What?
he's a very peculiar person. I don't
No, he's
know. Like I
not.
just don't. Yeah, I guess to me, I don't know. Like he's just like, I don't know how to act around him. Like I'm like, I know that like can see this. I don't act like me when I'm around Parker. I just don't. Like I'm not like, oh fuck you, Flynn. Like I'm just like in a corner. Like how the fuck do I act right now? And like I'm starting to get better, but like to like still, I act fucking weird. I don't act like Stokes. I act just like I act like me before I knew how to, have a social life, which is terrible, but it's whatever. But, everybody else inside of the scene is fucking amazing. Like I can literally walk up to anybody inside of like NA Pro League, or anybody inside of probably like half of EU Pro League right now, or even some of the LATAM players and stuff like that, and just like walk up and like pat them on the back and be like, or one of the favorite things to do inside the fucking Rainbow scene is Laxing, huge fan, man, huge fan. He's like, God, fuck you, Stokes, or whatever, so on and so forth. Like everybody just runs around and does it the entire fucking time. It's hilarious. But that really is one of the coolest parts. Like Flynn and I literally were walking around from like scrim station to scrim station, watching people scrim and talking to coaches and just having a really good fucking time. And it really is just like a family inside of Rainbow Six Siege. And that kind of delves back into that kind of toxicity thing that we were talking about earlier. If you see somebody like, giving somebody shit inside of a game, everybody's family inside of the Siege scene. I promise you, everybody's family inside of the Siege scene. Like that's just how it is. Like it's another pro player. Doesn't matter what region, doesn't matter what. I'm cool with you. You're cool with me. Everything's fine. It's all good. And that truly is the mentality inside of Siege, which is fantastic. Like, again, I am a fucking greenhorn caster inside of this. And I still get respect. I get to step inside of fucking scrim rooms, talk to coaches, all that stuff. I get set out on meetings for new ideas, all like everything. Like they're not like, oh, Stokes is new, fuck him. Like no, like everybody's very welcoming, and it's very, very cool. I met a lot of amazing people this weekend. Not even just pro players, just people that, and this honestly is the beauty of the Six Invitational. This is what the Six Invitational is all about. It isn't just about, hey, who's going to win the big tournament and make all the fucking money. I got to go and I got to meet people that I've known for 3 years that I don't even know what their face looks like. I got to do that. And that means a lot to me. It really does. I'm actually starting to fucking tear up right now. But that truly does mean the fucking world to me, that I got to go, got to fly on somebody else's dime, work an event that I have looked up to for ever since this game came out. I wanted to be there. I wanted to play on that stage. I wanted to do something with this. And I achieved that. I fucking did that. And again, last year, this exact same time, I am casting an Xbox League. I'm casting the GEL Xbox League. And in less than a year, I am casting the biggest tournament that we have inside of Rainbow Six Siege. And over players that I have respected for fucking years. For years, I've seen players transition from Xbox to PC, fucking elevate, move over, fucking blow everybody away, and the fucking team disbands, and all this shit that I just watched from the sidelines and was like, one day I will be there. I know I will be there. And I made it fucking happen. And along the line, I've met so many fucking cool people that, again, I've never seen their face in person, or I don't even know what the fuck they look like. They're just a username on a screen, and we're friends. And I get people coming up to me at the fucking sign-in at the venue going, hey, I'm Levron. Hey, I'm this person. Hey, I'm that person. And it's like meeting a fucking long-lost friend that you haven't seen for years. It is the coolest experience I've ever had in my entire life. And I would not give it up for anything at all. Like, it truly is just a fucking wonder when you have somebody come up to you, especially people, like, not even people that, you've known for a long time, you even got to see their face, but people that come up to you and tell you stories about how you've changed their lives. I had a kid come up to me and tell me I was the reason that he casted. I was the reason that he wanted to be a caster is because he liked my casting so much, and I inspired him with my story of how quickly I changed things up and how quickly I rose to where I am right now. And he wants to do that, and he wants to grind as hard as it fucking takes just because he wants to be able to follow what I did and make it to where I am. I started this whole thing way back before Rainbow Six Siege was even here. I did YouTube, I did all that shit. And I started that shit with, if I can make one person's life different, if I can make one person's life better because of what I do, then all this shit will be worth it. That's fine. If I can affect one person's life, then everything will be okay. And I did that. I achieved what I wanted to do. That's all I ever wanted to do with any of this. Ever since being the age of 3 years old, I wanted to be in video games. I've always wanted to do it. That was my dream job. You can ask my parents this. I wanted to make video games since the age of 5. That was my dream job. I want to make video games. Hey, I want to be a policeman. Hey, I want to be a fireman. I want to develop video games because if I'm able to tell a story that has an impact on someone's life for the better, I want to be able to do that. Oh, I get older. Okay, I want to be a professional player inside of video games. I'm good at video games. I can do that. That's a possibility. I can do that. So I'm going to do it. If I can inspire somebody by doing this and making, just putting myself out here to where people can see how I am as a person and, you know, how much prowess I have inside of this and how much I focus on this, and that inspires someone to do better inside of what they do, then it's all worth it. Okay, casting. If I can inspire someone with the way that I talk, the way that I make them feel during a cast, or how I carry myself inside of this, if I can affect one person, then it's all worth it. And I finally made it worth it. And that means the entire fucking world to me because I haven't been able to do that inside of anything else. I am a massive fuck up in school. Massively. I graduated high school with a 1.89 GPA, and it's not because I'm stupid. It's because I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, you're pretty stupid.
I never gave a shit. And, you know, I can be stupid sometimes.
You're pretty fucking stupid, bud.
But I mean, I just never gave a shit. I never gave a shit about my school, about my grades, any of that shit. I would go home, I would play Xbox, and that was about it. I'd hang out with friends. That was about it. College? Yeah, I gave a shit in college. I have a very, very good GPA in college, actually, because I was like, oh, I actually have to care. You know? So, but
Wait, did you graduate college?
no.
Okay, there you go.
No. I'm not done with college.
I was going to say, you can't be that much better than me.
I haven't taken a college class since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, so college is on hold until I can figure out what I want to do.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, same here. And yeah, before you
But-
start crying.
I'm not crying. I got a little teary eyed, but we're
yeah,
good.
yeah, you good?
But yeah, that's why Invite means so much to me, because I was able to achieve something that I wanted to do for so fucking long. And I got to prove absolutely every single person that ever told me that I would never make a fucking thing of myself wrong. Fuck them. That's what I mean earlier. Fuck a bully. Fuck everybody that tries to put you down on anything. If you have a dream, you go fucking chase that shit, because there's going to be one day in your life where you look back and go, what if? What if what? I don't give a fuck if I fall flat on my face tomorrow. Tomorrow. I don't care if my fucking PC blows up, I get in a fucking car crash and I die. I don't give a shit.
Damn. Okay.
I don't fucking care. I don't. Because I did what I wanted to do and I made it fucking happen. Fuck a bully. Fuck whatever. You go do what you want to fucking do. That's it. That's what I've always pushed. That's it. So that is what Invite meant to me.
Well, okay. My turn to diatribe.
Suck a dick, Flint.
Mine's gonna be shorter. I promise that. So I think the whole story for me starts the minute I get into the hotel.
That's what I said too. Yeah.
the minute I got there, because there was actually it wasn't really the minute I got in. It was a couple hours later when Parker got in. He got in a little bit later in the evening, and he said, "Hey, Rob, come downstairs and come to the bar." And he was having drinks with Justin and Epi. from Ubisoft. And you guys know by now that Justin, this was his last hurrah for Rainbow Six Siege, and Justin has actually been a really big supporter of me for a long time now, and that means a lot. But an even bigger supporter of me was Parker. From the very first day that I ever casted anything in the world, Parker has been not only a mentor, but a friend to me. And he said, Rob, come downstairs, come to the bar. So I go downstairs, I get dressed, walk downstairs, and I see everybody at the table, and he just stands up as soon as I get there and gives me a hug. And he says, Rob, I'm so fucking proud of you. And he says, because last year I took you here to this very hotel, to this very bar, and you awed at seeing all of the pro players just sitting around, talking, having a good time, communicating, and you took all that shit in, you were wide-eyed, and since that year has passed, you will now join me as the only other Canadian caster to be on the big stage for the Six Invitational on Canadian soil. And that moment just kind of hit me like a fucking rock. Because I've told this story plenty of times, but my very first broadcast ever for IEG, I went 8 hours, 4 games. And yes, they went the distance in best of threes, because fuck me.
Because fuck me.
But Parker saw it, and he took the time out of his day when he didn't need to. And he sent me a fucking essay on Discord. He reached out and he said, hey, I like your fundamentals. Here is every single thing you could work on. Here is what I would recommend for you in casting, in cadence, in conducting yourself in general. And he sent me a goddamn essay. And at the very end, he put one sentence. And he said, read everything I've said. Take it in. And take opinions from other people. Don't only listen to me. Don't only listen to 1 or 2 people. Receive constructive criticism from anywhere you can. But at any point in time, if you feel that the constructive criticism, if it's worded correctly, but you still disagree with it, if it's not bashing you and tearing you down, it honestly is just truly constructive, but you disagree with it, then don't change. Don't change for anyone. Only make a change if you believe that it will better you and your ability in your career. And I held true to that throughout my entire career. I made changes that I thought would be best for me and my style and my progress and my professionalism and my ability. But I never changed simply because someone else didn't like what they heard. And for that moment, for Parker to stand up and just embrace me and say he was so proud of everything I had accomplished. He probably hugged me and said he was proud of me fucking 20 times throughout the week. And I like lost control every time. Because he has been everything to me that I could ever ask for. He is the number one reason why I am anywhere in this shit. And I owe my entire fucking career and life to him right now. Because a year ago, I was starving below the poverty line in an apartment I couldn't afford, casting just to keep a roof over my head. And like he said, I joined him as the only other Canadian caster to broadcast the Six Invitational on the big stage on Canadian soil. And that was a huge moment for me. The other part of it was, for me, was at the after party on Sunday. If you guys don't know him, his name is Stuart from Ubisoft, and he came in around August of 2018, so he's only been with Ubisoft for a little while now, but his directive when coming in was to find casting talent that was either underappreciated or that was strong fundamentally, that needed some sanding around the edges, that could turn into real talent. And he and Parker both decided to take a shot on me for DreamHack Montreal in September. So Stuart had only been there for about a month. And he reached out and he said, hey, I've seen some of your VODs from other work you've done. I'd like to offer you a chance to do your first ESL gig. And ever since then, Stuart has also been in my corner. When it came down to picking someone to replace Gasson on the main stage to be paired with Emzo, he picked me. He is responsible for picking the talent for events like this. And he picked me. And I even said this in my interview with CGG. I wasn't nervous about the crowd. I wasn't nervous about the games. I was very confident in my own ability to be able to put on a show and to be able to remain professional and level-headed and conduct myself as the caster I knew I could be. My number one focus was doing Stuart and Parker proud that A, they picked me, and B, I just did not want to fuck that up. Those were my two driving forces. Number one, I wanted to do the people who have believed in me since they met me proud. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a mistake, that they believed in me and put so much faith and effort in me, because they've taken a lot of time out of their days and lives, honestly, that they did not have to kind of get me to where I am. And the both of them I wanted to do extremely proud. I also wanted to do the fans proud, because I know Gasson has a lot of fans out there, and a lot of them probably would have preferred Gasson casting over me, and that's fair. All people out there have preferences as far as who is casting what and what their style is and what they prefer to hear, and that's completely fair. I'm not here to please everyone. I know there will be favoritism for audiences between the casters. It's cool. It doesn't offend me. I understand that. But I wanted to go in there and at least do the audience proud and make sure that I wasn't a distraction at the very least. I might not be your favorite caster, but I do not want to be a distraction. I do not want to deter the focus away from the amazing gameplay that's going on. Because I said it in my last tweet, my closing tweet out of DreamHack Montreal. The reason I wanted to cast, the reason I wanted to get into casting was to put my own voice and my own effort and my own beliefs and abilities on top of, not aside from or as the star performer, but on top of the incredible play and performance and dedication that the pro players put out, because we're all fans at the end of the day. We are all fans, and we all became fans because of the players and their performances and their stories. The last thing I wanted to do was detract from that. So if I'm proud about anything about my performance, it's that I did not draw attention or ire or focus away from the players and the games, that I was at least able to just be a neutral piece of what was done. And that's, if I'm proud about anything, that's probably the most thing I'm proud of myself about. And as far as everything that Parker and Stuart said, because I went back to the after party and Stuart was there, and I stood up from the table. I gave him a huge fucking hug, and I said, thank you. I said, thank you for fucking believing in me. Thank you for giving me this chance to prove myself again and again and again. Every turn, Stuart has given me an opportunity to prove myself. And honestly, coming out of USN, I thought I fucked up. Coming out of USN, I thought I botched it. I thought I had a very poor performance at USN, especially on the first day of USN. I thought I really got away from who I was as a caster, who I was as a person, as far as conducting myself on the stage. And my big focus coming into SI was keep your composure at all cost. And I believe at the very least I did that. Didn't get thrown away into some crazy shouting bloodbath-esque over like one kill. Didn't fucking...
Hey, hi, how are you doing?
Hey, I mean, it was more like insane clutch moments. You went a little overboard. And I mean, slightly.
Well,
and you understand that
we've under your belt than I do.
Exactly.
And I'm
exactly.
still trying to. It's like, guys, you don't understand how fucking hard it is. Especially, thank fucking God I didn't know how many people were watching during that Liquid Market game, because there is no way in hell that I would have been able to cast knowing 141,000 people were watching that shit.
I was gonna say it was upwards of 120K.
Yeah,
I know that for sure.
Was fucking ridiculous. Yeah, we peaked during that Liquid Market game. It was 141,000 people watching, which is fucking ridiculous. But it is ridiculously hard. I am a completely different caster at home. Like I swear to God, when I'm at home and I'm casting CCS, completely different caster. I'm casual.
Yeah,
I'm very structured in my sentences. I'm able to really just pinpoint what I want to do. But I'm starting to get over it, but like USN was very hard for me.
Yep.
Very, very hard. Because not only am I casting with Parker, which is like what Flynn said, like I look up to Parker a lot because Parker, like even at this point in time, Parker is, helped me out with a lot of things in my casting. He's helped me with my play by play. He's helped me with quite quite the handful of things inside of my casting and told me, not only what I needed to fix, but how to fix it and what to focus on, which is awesome. Cause like there is no fucking, how to cast for dummies sitting inside of fucking Barnes and Noble. That's not a book. Okay. So it really is just, trying to find yourself and find what you're good at and elevate that and find the things you're bad at and, make those on par with others. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never, just to touch on the point you said, you're a very different caster at home. I've never heard you lose control like that in my entire life.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of your games that you've casted. I've casted with you a couple times now. I have
yeah.
never ever in my entire life heard you kind of just go off the rails like that.
Yeah,
And
that was off the
it
rails.
wasn't even that bad, but it was noticeable enough. And we've talked
Yeah,
about it, obviously, and everyone like I mean, look at me at USN, dude. I did the same fucking thing, right?
yeah.
Like it happens. And
Yep.
it's a learning experience
It's
and
all
you
just
press
learning.
forward.
Yeah.
But like I just want you first of all to understand, because I know we haven't like completely talked about this ad nauseum. But like I was feeling the same thing you're feeling after USN. I was feeling the exact same thing. I was like, holy fuck, how did I botch that so hard? How did I lose composure and control like that in a situation? I've cast in front of more people before in a live audience. The Euro Cup, we had like 1,000 people in a standing room. But there was something about it, about USN and being in the audience as opposed to the Euro Cup when we were like off to the side, where
Perfect
I
storm.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, I fucking lost it. And
Yeah.
I shouldn't have.
You went from caster to feeling like I'm in the audience of a fucking hockey game right now yelling at everything. Yeah. And
That's
like
fair.
I guess like my I know what my train of thought was in that moment. I was like, if he clutches this, just like give it to it, because like this is the last fucking play of all of SI for you. Like this is the last game that you get to
True.
cast.
It was your
So like
very
so
last
like
marking
so like
moment.
yeah, that was literally like my basically my last talking moment was right there. That was it. So yeah, like yeah, I gave it to it, but I gave it to it too much. If you guys go listen to that clip, we have very, very, very good mics for Pro League casting. We do. So there's a peak on the mic that you can't get past, no matter how loud that you scream, talk, whatever. There's a volume level that you cannot get past. But if you guys truly listen to that, that is like full on. I have a very deep voice and my voice carries a lot. And you can literally hear the amount of just like blood curdling scream inside of my fucking throat during that fucking call. And after I watched it, I was truly embarrassed because that is one of the most viewed fucking clips. Like the one that Brazil put out of like all the different countries all casting over that. And then there's just me screaming like a fucking idiot. So it's stuff like that. And it's stuff like that that you just lay in your fucking hotel room and you're like, I can't believe I just fucking did that. And it's a learning curve. This is literally only my second land I've ever casted. So it's not like I'm just like, oh, I fucking just ended my fucking career because I casted like an idiot. Like I understand that people know where I'm at, but I want to be better than the previous me. And the thing right now for me is trying to get over just casting at land. I understand that like at the SI for group stage, like there is no crowd or anything like that.
It's
But
different though. It's a different
it
atmosphere. I know what you're
yeah,
feeling.
it's a completely different atmosphere from sitting at home. I can literally sit here in my fucking gaming chair, drink a fucking beer, and cast, and just be perfectly fine. That's what got me here in the first place. Is because I'm cool. Well, I can be cool, calm, and collected, and I can also have my hype moments, and I know what I'm talking about. That's the whole reason that I got where I am right now. That's it. But when I get to LAN, it's just a different thing for me on the energy level wise. Like I still am able to talk over things and have an educated opinion about what's going on and stuff like that. Just I need to get past it being a LAN, because what that's doing to me is it's making me stutter. I'm not talking fluently at all, and I'm fucking just screeching. Like it's with that last one. I did way better at USN with energy level. Just this time it kind of flip flopped. I went to not stuttering as much, but my energy level was ridiculous on certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I got you.
yeah, and again, it's just a learning curve. So we got a lot of minors this year. So hopefully I get picked up for a handful of those and am able to,
Yeah, and
test my merit against that. So
I mean, USA major, right? You got picked up for group stage for the first NA major of the year, which was SI19. USA major. I imagine you'll be on the docket for group stage.
Is there a group stage for that? Do they do group
Yeah,
stage
it's a major.
Group stages for all the majors? Yeah,
It's
okay.
the same setup as SI. It just means less, and there's a lower prize pool. SI
cool.
is the big major.
I was trying to look back and remember if there was a group stage for Paris, and I thought
Yep.
there was. That's why. Okay.
Yep. That was like the whole video in the To Win It All documentary when Liquid just like phoned it home and was like, "Yeah, we're buying tickets and leaving," because they lost. They went 0-2 in groups. So yes, there will be a group stage for the USA major. The location of that is not announced yet, but I mean, you're close, you're local, you're good. Group stage is most likely going to be locked up for you for the USA major. I would not stress about that at all. And like you said, there's a couple other events like DreamHack Valencia got announced. We're going back there. Yeah, by Power. That hasn't been announced as far as location yet. DreamHack Montreal. Hey, you just did an event in Montreal. Never know. Yeah, so I think that's about it as far as my opinions on like my performance and then my like just emotions surrounding SI being out on the stage and stuff. Also, the meet and greet, I gotta fucking say, holy shit, you guys.
Yeah, you guys are fucking crazy.
Y'all are animals.
Actually,
there were so many people, dude. So my friend Chase was standing there, and he took a Snapchat video of the line. And so my thing is our meet and greet was much later in the day than yours. And it was the last one of the day, which was interesting. But and
it was past all the games.
Yeah, so our meet and greet was at 7, and it was on the Saturday. It was after the G2 Rec game, but G2 just obliterated Rec, and that game was done by like 5:30. So there was an hour and a half to wait just for the meet and greet to open. We didn't leave the venue until 10 p.m. We didn't stop signing things and meeting fans and talking to fans for 2.5 hours. 9:30 is when we did the last group photo with a fan who wanted to get a group photo with all of us there. And we didn't get out of the venue until 10. That was insanity. And the line, that much dedication to sit around and just come say hi to us, like, holy shit, you people are fucking rock stars. And don't think that dedication and emotion and devotion to just a bunch of fucking idiots at a desk is unnoticed, because that was a huge moment for me. I don't think I put a Sharpie down for those 2.5 hours, other than to take a picture with someone and then keep going back to signing shit. Like,
real question.
Yeah.
So, did you end up changing up your signature during that time, or did you just sign Flynn like you signed your last name?
I just signed Flynn like I always do. Like, it's not the first time I've signed anything, but it was the most amount of things that I've signed.
Over the time of the signing, I had to develop my signature for Stokes because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing with it.
Yeah.
By the end, it got really cool though. I do like a backward star for the A, and then I do X with like a long tail, and I put a smiley face with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just do Flynn in cursive.
Yeah.
Like I signed like my literal ass signature.
So funny thing about the signing table. Yeah. So I was sitting next to Brandon Carr. So
Brandon's a cool dude, man. I got to meet him at DreamHack Montreal. He was a really cool dude to hang out with.
I was blown away, dude. Fucking BC, Bacon, and the owner of Dark Zero like all bumped into me in the hallway, and like this is like right when I initially met them, and they're like, "Dude, we just want to let you know we fucking love your casting." Like fucking Bacon called me a fucking prodigy. I was like, "You need to calm down. Like that is not. I am not there yet, you motherfucker." Like,
I'm so sad. I sent Jordan a DM. So Bacon, if you guys don't know his first name, but. Jordan and I have actually known each other for a very, very long time. Back before I even started casting, we've known each other. Because I used to do a lot of like graphic design and photography work. And back when Ominous was in Pro League, year 2, season 1, he just sent a tweet out saying, "Look, we're looking for people to design a logo for us." So I sent in a submission, and we went back and forth for like a few days, up to like a week, on like tweaks on the design and stuff. And then it ultimately, like, it didn't pan out because they didn't end up actually getting a logo or carrying the team forward or anything after that season. But we've known each other for an extremely long time, and I felt fucking terrible because I sent him a DM on Saturday night, the night of the semifinals, saying, "Hey, if you're at the venue tomorrow, I'll try and find you. I'll try and track you down, and we'll have a beer and just hang out for a bit." And I never fucking found him. I tried searching for him for like half an hour to an hour. I could not find him, and I felt so bad because I really wanted to say hi again, and because we've now seen each other at I think it was the first invitational last year. We hung out at the VIP party. And that was again before I started, or that was like right as I started casting, because I was there to cast the Canadian Circuit Finals. We hung out there, and then we hung out at DreamHack Montreal, and then we also were talking to each other on Twitter in November about something that I can't remember. But like, we've known each other for a very long time. I felt terrible.
It happens, man.
I felt so
it's
bad.
Business.
I felt
It's
so
all good.
bad.
Oh, so funniest thing that happened with Bacon. He's talking. I think he was talking to either the owner of Dark Zero or like it might have been just like a fan, but like I knew the guy.
Yeah.
So I'm walking past him, and as I walk past him, I like get my fucking like right hand under fucking Bacon's chin, and I just stroke his beard as I walk by, and he like turns and looks at me, and I turn around and I like winked at him. He's like, "Oh, hey, Stokes." And he just like kept talking to the guy and just didn't give a fuck. Flynn knows. Sometimes
Yeah.
I just like to fuck with people just to see what they'll react like. I'll just like fucking like tap them on the shoulder, like walk away or do whatever the fuck, just because I enjoy messing with people. And like Bacon just took it like a fucking champ. He didn't give a shit. Like he like I winked at him. He winked at me back. I was like, "All right, Bacon." Like I see
Basically.
you, Jordan. I see you. But oh no. Anyways, back to the signing table thing.
Yeah.
So is her name Kelly? Who's our community manager? What's her name?
Who?
The girl in the bomber jacket with the glasses.
Jack. You mean Velia?
Is it Vilia?
At Velia XO, I think on Twitter, like the esports manager for Ubisoft. Are you talking about Carrie?
Oh, I think it was Carrie. Was she helping you with the signing? Who was helping you with the signing?
No one was helping me with the signing. We just sat down and started signing shit.
We had an Ubisoft rep.
Oh, Stuart was there, and he was just like controlling the line, but that was about it.
Oh yeah, no, okay. Well, we had her there, and basically she comes up to us and she was like, "This is about halfway through. We're about an hour in," and she goes, "Yeah, the biggest question in the line is either it's right down the middle, 50-50. It's either who's that bald guy next to Stokes or who's that guy sitting in the chair next to BC." I was like, well, feels good to be on par with BC, I guess. Like that's lit. But
Here,
it was
I'll
really cool.
I'll DM you her Twitter right now and see if it's the right person. Oh, spelled it wrong. Here we go. Where are you on Twitter?
Also, I sent everybody that list I sent you of all the things that I in that text message was like, "Hey, whenever you get a chance, just like expand on this for me."
Yeah.
I sent that to like Gasson, Michael, and Parker. So I'm waiting for like the next week after they go over all the VODs for them to just fucking tear me apart.
Gasson does that. He does a lot of VOD reviews right now, and I'm waiting for him to do the same to me. He's got a lot of pointers and stuff, and there's a lot to learn because he's been doing this for a long time now. So
yeah, no, it's not her. It's not her. It's
no,
God. No, it's not her.
I was gonna say that's Carrie. She's the esports manager from Ubi. She was talking, or she was like responsible for like all the media stuff. She's the
it's the community manager. She's shorter than Velia.
Community manager.
Yeah. I can't remember her name. Anyway,
very
nice woman. Very nice woman. You know me, I'm terrible with names. I can literally see her face right now, but I can't remember her name. Anyways,
does not help me in any sense.
Yeah, get inside of my brain, Flynn. Jesus, come on, dude.
Bet.
2019, step in.
All right, we're kind of circling the drain here. You want to call it? We're at 2.5. So we've been going for
2.5.
We're at 2.5. We've been we're circling the drain right now. We're just revolving on shit. So
yeah, basically.
I was gonna say let's try and wind it. It's 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Hey, yo, guys. By the way, did you guys know that this podcast is sponsored by the Koyo store?
It is. Did you guys know we're
We're
doing a
fucking-
giveaway for a complete set that I have sitting 5 feet beside me of the Series 1 operators pins? Not to mention, I'll also be throwing in my duplicate of the USN collector's coin into that mix as well.
Duplicate.
Did you also know that the only thing you have to do to enter is follow at B-Leaguers on Twitter? And currently, I think we only have like 150 followers. So right now, you have like a 1 in 150 shot at... We have 176 followers currently on the account. Right now, if you followed this second, you would have a 1 in 177 shot. And actually, it's more like 170 because there's like people that we know that we're not going to give the giveaway to, including ourselves, who follow the account. Yeah. So like, better. You got a pretty good shot right now. So I will be. We will be doing the draw. Let's just pick a random fucking day. Next Wednesday, 27th. You have from now, today, Thursday the 21st, until Wednesday the 27th. Follow the account.
I forgot my pins with flathead fucking SA.
Yeah, I have them still. So I'm going to be mailing them to you.
I'm fucking dumb.
You left them in my room.
Yeah, well, that was after the whole fucking thing of can I be in my room or can I not be in my room? And then we all panicked,
Exactly.
then we forgot that you had my pins, and then we
Yep.
left.
So yeah, I'll be mailing these to you, you motherfucker, and you're going to pay me for the shipping. And then whoever I mail the giveaway winner to, you will not be paying shipping. And it's worldwide. Doesn't matter where you are. If it's $100 to ship it to you, I'll front the cost. You guys are
I won't, because Flynn's paying for it. Get fucked, Flynn.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
You're paying me like the $10 it'll take to ship it to you.
Yeah.
But not to mention, we'll also be doing another giveaway of the Series 2 pins as soon as we get them in our hands. So I think
Series 2.
I think that's going to round us out as we now cross the 2.5 threshold.
Wait till I get the Go XLR and I can do like
Oh,
fucking
God,
voice
fuck
changers
off.
and shit, dude.
Fuck
Get the
off.
fucking. I'll be like, I don't give a beep.
Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody for listening, because it's a fucking podcast. Unless you're watching it on YouTube, even though there's no video yet. And I said we'd be doing video after invite, but I'm also fucking lazy. So,
Yeah,
Like-
it's also, again, 4 a.m.
yeah,
So.
you don't want to see
Get
us right
fucked.
now. I'd like to thank
Get
everyone
fucked.
for listening. As far as schedule is concerned, there are a couple things up in the air for the both of us right now, so we will let you know when the next podcast episode will come out. Probably won't be talking too much about Invite anymore. SI is over. We're probably done with it. That's what this whole episode was about, was just wrapping up SI, talking about the games, the teams, and our experiences. Next episode, we'll be talking about moving into predictions as far as the back half of Season 9, who will make it to Milan, and also, by the next episode, some more information about that NA Shuffle will probably be released. So there already is a couple
Ooh, juicy.
confirmed, which was Crazy and Acid going to Rise. Big shock. And Orlis disbanding. Yeah, that was as far as I know, by the way, for anyone who's going to ask, to the best of my knowledge, but this is not confirmed, so do not quote me on it. It'll just be a free win for everyone in NA, and there won't be an auto relegation. So, as far as I'm aware, that is what will happen. Do not quote me on it, though. I'm not 100% certain on that. I'm just assuming. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. I imagine we'll probably be back again, I'd say around Sunday, but we'll see what happens as far as schedules and shit go.
Might have a guest too. Who knows?
Yeah, we
Who
can probably reach around for. Ooh, that's some poor wording. We could probably look around for a guest and try and pull someone in to have some conversations about SI and predictions for Season 9, and hopefully we can break down some of the more knowledge we have already on this NA Shuffle. But that's gonna do it for us, guys. Happy Thursday. Happy
We love
SI
you.
post-depression. It's a fun time. We all got the land flu. We love you. Don't forget to follow at B-Leaguers for the giveaway. It'll end the 27th. We'll do the draw that night. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Good night.